All right, hello everybody. Welcome to the technical difficulty live stream, as it were. Uh, always one
Welcome to the
thing.
show.
Yeah, it's always one thing or the
Okay,
other.
go on.
Short intro this time because we've had a big preamble before the session, as usual. We're finally a whopping 2 weeks in a row. Um, Now, of course, we're probably going to miss a couple weeks for New Year's and Christmas Eve, which land 2 consecutive Wednesdays, of course, this year. The universe does not make this one work, so I may see many of you next year. In which case, Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, and whatever other holidays you celebrate. In the meantime, we have the regular folks here. I want to say a quick thank you to Uriah Edwards, who just popped up. No One Like the Bear podcast. I always have to remember what that stands for, and then I click on it. And I'm like, I don't have to squint.
Always glad to have him here. He's very much. I look at his shows and think, man, I want to be our game like his game.
Yes, your production is.
Why can't you be like him, Tyler?
Look, the moment that I stop working 3 jobs and that I don't have to deal with you chuckle fucks in 3 different time zones.
That's the thing. No one. It's not that not everyone can be a Renaissance man. Knows role play, knows systems, knows how to edit.
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah.
The extent to which he told us about audio, how can you even know all of this about audio?
Well, I mean, it's people are with that. I understand when people tell me they're like, wait, so you're a martial arts instructor, an editor, a bartender, a tobacconist, and I'm like, well, I don't really think it's that much until you list it all in a row. And then I'm like, yeah, I guess I do have my hands in a lot of pies. But when I hear about other people, I'm like, oh yeah, that is a lot. But for me, if I was going to do this thing, I would do what a lot of the bigger YouTubers do and just go the route of, this sucks. I hate editing. I'm just going to pay somebody to do this. I'm not dealing with it. It is. I've tried to do it, but it's work for me. It's something I have to sit down, and I like doing these. Coming off the back of a 12-hour shift, just getting home and just cracking out a video, not editing it, just throwing it up on YouTube, right? I'm not ready to sit down and do more work after I've gotten home. So
the marvels of it being a hobby, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I might do it. For me, YouTube is just like roleplay, very much a craft that can be that I very much enjoy improving on. Mm-hmm. So I made this weird Space Station 14 video that's completely out of left field.
That. Yeah.
It's has nothing to do with anything else on this channel. But I just enjoy role playing in that video game as well. Even if the role play is very light. Because they're round based, they're not longer than 2 hours or 2 or 3 hours at maximum. Those are the long rounds. And it tells a cohesive story of events happening. Do you kill the aliens or the aliens kill you? And what do you do in the meantime? As a hospital medic or marine or one in the command staff. And those are interesting. So I cut one down, put on some sick beats on top of it.
Sorry, I'm just realizing I've lost my D4. I'm literally every other die here. I've even got a freaking D30 here, but I don't have a D4.
And don't worry, you will step on it.
Yeah, I was like, I'll find it sooner or later, I'm sure, or the dog's eating it. I'm not sure which, but it's okay. I'll roll a D8 and have it.
Deploy foot magnet.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So, everybody ready to begin? Everything sorted?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yep.
Last time, the group ventured out after resting in the tavern, having some eventful and thought-provoking discussion with the local farmers and other locals, headed out to the quarry where they expected to find a kobold warren, which twofold may have led to answers as to the tower's collapse and lead to discovery of a couple of the town's disappearances. That of the local druid and his wife, who have been missing for over a month at this point. Perhaps surprisingly, the kobolds parlayed rather than fighting. After a few tense moments of negotiation, sneaking around, false bluffs, the party came to a tenuous agreement to be taken as fake prisoners by this female would-be chieftain who claimed that she wants to depose the current chieftain, who she believes has gone insane. She warned the group of his magical abilities as best she could, and likewise of an apparent green dragon. The damp floodplains stretching out for thousands of feet. The summer air getting muggy, mosquitoes buzzing to and fro, the cooling shade of a cave, and no less than 6 small green-scaled creatures standing around begin to tie slip knots.
Still complaining about being in the water, thighs sloshing it around. Yeah, this is awful. I think we agree to this again, and I look back.
The kobold woman, see it. We help you navigate. Show you ways not to go down the tunnels. Where it'd be too skinny. You get stabbed in the back. She mimes thrusting forward with a spear.
I make sure to hold the kobolds back so that doesn't happen.
Oh, sorry, I believe it is.
As well?
What was that, Philippe?
Are the caves, are they flooded as well? I try to get a good look at the cave system.
The cave stretches on in 2 diverging paths. While damp, they are above the flood level, walkable. The common-speaking kobold, the ringleader, as it were, no, shouldn't have to swim.
And that is for their size. So I do believe we are good on that matter.
Mm-hmm.
I shuffle
be wary. So be wary, though. I believe we may have caught a few leeches on the way here.
I shuffle, standing ankle deep in the swamp area, scratching off with 1 foot with the other. My loosely tied hands like touching under my tunic, where I had the mithril daggers stashed for now. I'm not gonna be able to take my staff with me.
The kobold looks perturbed for a moment, furrowing her brow. Leave here, and you come back for it. We'll all leave, nobody left behind.
I nod to myself.
Why leave it though? Surely it will be helpful in the skirmish to come.
Right. But then it looks like we have not taken very good prisoners. I see what he is saying.
Well, how long exactly do you expect us to pretend to be prisoners?
At least close enough, long enough to get close to him. Like I said, we will take care of the... He should only have 4 or so bodyguards. The 6 of us can take care of them, no problem. Get you in close. Distract him for long enough. He mutters to himself. Speeches to no one in particular. It's just, like I said, he's going insane.
Annoyed at standing at this damp cave, I look back. It's been well hidden so far. Come on, I want to explore this place, but only after we've done with this. And I raise my hands as much as I can.
I nod. Does he have any special powers? The sorcery?
She ponders for a moment. Hey, She motions to hold out as if a small stick in her hands. Can shoot, I don't know the common for it.
A magic stick?
Like spiders, they shoot out the sticky material.
Web.
This is why you want to get close.
An entrapment spell.
If you can't get close in time, he will get you stuck in place and then do God knows what to you.
Understood. I will shut my mouth for now.
Remember, don't go wandering off. There are things in the caves we don't know how they will react to outsiders. She winds up in front, starting down the path to the right, barely big enough for the 2 taller amongst you to fit crouching. The 6 other kobolds line up, forming a loose formation behind you.
As I'm walking, and there's a loud thump. I hit my forehead on a support beam.
The 6 kobolds in the back let out chittering little...
In the darkness, walking just behind or maybe next to Philippe into the caves. The blood can be seen on my neck coursing through, glowing ever so slightly, standing out in the darkness.
My eyes a bit unfocused in the darkness. I look around and I see thin trickles, veins coming through Talaj. I have to do a double take and look. Marveled, slightly confused, but keep my mouth shut for now. A question for later. I take position, letting Talaj pass me. I stay between the group and the female kobold that is to deliver us.
The kobold tugs on the rope binding the 3 of you. Not hard enough to loosen it, but hard enough to allow you to follow, even in the darkest conditions. She whispers, "If I push back, stop. Something has gone wrong." I hear voices from down the tunnel. Not sure what it is. Unfamiliar.
A nod.
I grant in agreement.
Continue for now, though.
I grunt towards Philippe, keeping my voice hushed with my raspy dwarf sounds. I will rely on your light when the time comes for it.
Yes, I will blind all that I can. Keep your eyes steady.
A nod.
I took my wrists, getting ready to cast. What do your eyes see, dwarf?
Nothing, that's the problem. My clan, we do not have the abilities to see in the dark like our ancestors did.
Huh.
I look towards Philippe, my eyes
Curious.
shimmering green in the darkness too.
All I can see is, well, you. And I look at the slightly translucent veins.
I nod.
Are
Yeah.
you keeping track of the turns we did to get here? In case we need to run back.
I can read the stone fine, as long as I get to touch it.
That's the good news. I look back to Shire. We need to get out. Just follow the dwarf. And I try to point towards him.
Sounds reasonable.
With each step, my toes slightly curl, like crunching the stone underneath it, as we travel deeper, memorizing in my own head the shift of elevation and the way the stone has been hewn to craft the cavern in the first place.
Much of the pathway is clearly worked by human hands. Some centuries ago, fresh limestone dust in places, yet smaller, almost inaccessible tunnels. Clearly the work of the kobolds. The path begins to open wider into a larger cave, one which allows you to stand up fully. Dimly lit, there are a trio of other kobolds standing in a dish-shaped bowl of stone, green-tinged eggs sitting. Two of the kobolds shift to their spears immediately, but relax upon seeing the situation.
I squint in the dark, trying to read the situation. Still being led.
The third kobold is an oddity here. Red scales gleaming in the pale light. As much as it is, cracks here and there, allowing some natural light to creep through. The creature chitters out something. The female kobold leading you chitters something back, clicking teeth.
Talash following the tugs of the rope, standing with his back straight, looking like a hawk, like he always looks, unshifting his demeanor.
Struggle against my binding slightly, giving the resistance one would expect.
The kobold leading you looks back after chittering something. gives Talash a light elbow. The red kobold snorts, nostrils flaring, then puts its spear down as well. It is an envoy from one of the other tribes. Apparently word is spreading quickly of our situation. It is fortuitous you arrived when you did. We should go. She continues leading you down another path, taking a right.
Great, now there's another tribe here, I say.
Just one. So far, anyways. I don't know of what one, though. Might be from very far away.
The tribe has no name, no markings.
Didn't recognize. She has a strange necklace. What was it she said? Hangtooths? Not a name I recognize.
Are they the red ones?
I guess so. There's some red ones, anyways. Anyways, we should keep moving.
I move silently, following her footsteps.
Stop struggling against the binds as we continue the rest of the way. Just putting up a show to the kobolds I see.
Keep on following as well.
She suddenly throws a hand back. You must follow my steps exactly. Or I suppose we could light and lose the element of surprise here. Or arouse suspicion, at least. But if you trust the situation, the tripwires, we have a special walking pattern.
I believe I can follow pretty well. I look at Philippe and Telash. I don't know about my partners.
We've been doing it so far, yes.
Okay.
I will do my best.
Okay. Dwarf should be easy for you to follow along. About the same height. But high step for us, maybe mid-high step for you. I'll tell you every time they're about to come up. Slow down. Just don't shove me into them.
Agreed.
Okay. She moves for a few feet. Says, halt. Big step. Dwarf, do you want to go first?
A small grunt. I move as instructed, to the best of my ability, squinting my eyes. Not be able to see much.
Make a reflex save.
Okay. 15.
With only the silhouettes available, it's even still possible enough to step over this with not too much difficulty. The wire itself is impossible to see, if one even does exist, and you aren't just being played for a fool, being made to walk silly, but walking exactly as the kobold does. High legs, placing the leg down gently over the top. Nothing happens.
I look back to Philippe, my eyes shining, waiting.
First, try to raise my hands slightly, but then the rope tugs. Let me see what I can do. 17.
Likewise. The walk is more difficult. The ceiling only 5 feet tall. Taking a high step while maintaining a crouched position is not the simplest thing in the world, but more than possible.
I go up soon after, feeling my boots a bit heavier due to all the sogging. Try to mimic the height of Philippe's step. Ready?
Peerless. As simple as any walking you've done so far. The other 6 kobolds in tow tiptoe around. The lead pipes up. There are a few more, but same thing. Nothing different. So when I bump you, just same thing. Just repeat it.
As Telash goes first, I whisper to Philippe, I wonder how often they trip on their own traps.
I wonder if they even do. They don't seem to have that many numbers. And kobolds are famous for this kind of thing. I even more now have my eyes have a cursory glance over the shades of gray on the walls, wary of more traps. How are we going to get out of here when the time comes? These are the ones that they're telling us about.
I shushed the other 2. The voice echoes far and wide in caves.
He's probably already heard you. The lead yells again, "Shut up, prisoners!"
My voice contorted in anger. I do so. Grit my teeth.
She lets out a crooked smile, nods, gives a thumbs up, gleaming in the dim light, begins making the odd steps yet again. Pain to reset the trap. And in a hurry, we won't get followed by the others. It'll slow them down. Let's see. All right. We're almost there. One more big step and you should be able to walk normally again.
Following her lead, trusting this kobold with this situation, keenly aware, deep on enemy territory. My hand touches my chest of the dagger inside, feeling a bit calmer with its existence.
Don't pull on the rope, Talash. Get over the last trap.
Follow as well. When I step on the floor, I can hear the water being poured out of the boot. Very soggy.
The hallway stretches open again. Light stops bouncing off of all of the walls. Areas pitch black. What is lit, strewn with fresh straw, giving your boots and feet purchase. Bones of various creatures sitting on the floor, hanging decoratively on the walls, and 2 large boulders bisecting the cave, sitting as pillars supporting the ceiling. Not incredibly tall, but tall enough to stand. The lead kobold gives the 3 of you a nod, clears her throat. Ragas, followed by the clicking and snarling of Draconic. The purple-robed chief of the kobolds walks from around one of these boulders, polishing in his hands a large scale of some creature. Even in the dim light, cataracts visible in his eyes, a strange glow to them. Chitters some things back, waves a hand. 4 kobolds similarly armed with spears flank him, though lazily at the side.
I pay special attention to his robes, seeing the purple. That catches my curiosity as I analyze him.
My eyes stay on the kobold guide in front of me, knowing if I look at him, I will not be able to break eye contact.
Seeing your gaze, she puts a hand around your head and shrugs you forward in front of her.
Stumbling, keeping my gaze strictly forward, not glancing, not turning my head, stubborn like a rock.
Shift my boots uncomfortably. My neck, getting ready for this.
The chieftain's tongue licks the air. You 3, you are not from the local village. And
No,
Atarapax did not mention you. You are new here.
You would be correct. Those assumptions. I take a step forward.
Telash stays silent and does not react.
I'm reading the room, seeing how much space it has for any possible maneuvering.
The 4 opposing kobolds are resting at their spears in ready positions, but not aggressive. The chieftain is standing upright, ramrod straight, on edge, but again, nothing in his hands other than the scale. The room has maybe 20, 30 feet to maneuver in between the dozen or so individuals in here.
I take a step forward, looking at the chieftain. We're not from around here. Came here with a very specific mission. I look down to my bound hands, raise them slightly, as if I am about to show him something that I'm hiding. Here. I believe that this...
Make a bluff check.
That is a 14.
He raises a single ridge where an eyebrow would be on a mammal. The dragon does reward supplicants. A mission, you say? He begins walking closer.
I came here to bring you this, and I shout the word this, and as my hand opens, a bead of light emanates, flare, as it hits the entire area, lighting it in a flash, bright as the sun.
The kobold spearmen on both sides, grabbing their face, reel back as they're suddenly blinded.
Fortitude negates dazzled.
The would-be chief covering her eyes, and the sorcerer chief blinded almost totally, if not the cataracts flashing dimly and the sudden burst of light shaking off. It reels back, puts a hand against one of the boulders, starts chittering in Draconic. The would-be chief draws her bow back, fires a shot at the chieftain. It strikes, landing on his shoulder, glancing off the scales, a small spurt of blood glancing across the stoneworks.
I tug undone my bindings in my hands, still holding the rope. I leap over one kobold in front of me, and I rush towards the leader, readying to tie the chief. That'd be dexterity.
Hit.
I started using the rope to bound his arms close to his tiny chest.
He's blindly pushing away, getting his elbows in. It's unusually slimy and quick reflex, pushing back, but still the size difference is much too much for him. This is not going to take very long if it keeps going the way it is. Talash.
At a flash, pressing my eyes shut, hunching down to look at the ground. As I see as I notice the kobold screeching, I leap towards the kobold, ripping the rope between my fists free, and go for a charge. A 14.
Because the creature is blind and trying to shove away Shair, hands bound, a blow that probably shouldn't land strikes clear.
My unarmed strike, hitting him for 10 damage. Slamming like a tackler, elbow first into his body, chest and the chin.
His head bangs off the boulder that he's bracing against, blinking, clearing his eyes from concussion on one side, blind light on the other, trying to shove away, chittering in common at this point. Go, you idiots! Kill them! Do something!
Seeing my partners rush up ahead, I turn back to the kobold. My rapier, and I raise my arm for her to toss it towards me.
Recovering from her bow, she starts reaching towards her hip. The sorcerer begins making motions with one hand, keeping tight circles, concentrating as best he can. Hand glowing green, emanating towards Shair. A thin beam of acid striking out towards him.
smelling something acrid in the air, I quickly let go of the kobold I'm holding, and I drop backwards to try and dodge.
Blindly, he makes no adjustments. Just this beam goes straight forward, leaving a hole a few inches deep in the stone behind you, dripping down the wall. He blinks his eyes open, looks down. Damn it. The kobold chieftain to be chucks your rapier towards you, Philippe.
Grab it midair, unsheath it, look towards the group.
Talasha makes a wide stand on the floor, noticing the spells. His eyes widen, and he goes for stunning strike, punching the solar plexus of the kobold. Ah! Ha! With a 12.
Now freed from Shire's grasp, he deftly avoids ducking under the strike, your fist landing on the stone wall behind him. The chieftain is clutching his chest, huffing and grunting. His eyes dart left, his eyes dart right as the blinded kobold tribe is fighting amongst itself in the center of the room now, making half-hearted thrusts towards one another. But clearly their hearts aren't really in it, and they probably couldn't fight well even if they meant to. Shire.
Laying on the floor with my legs towards him, I do a double kick to try and trip him trip him over, so he falls on the floor. It'll be 22.
He falls back with a smack, hand landing on the ground. Both now in the same prone position on the floor, scrambling around in the damp stone, hay being tossed up left and right.
I instantly, with like a jerk motion, I prone myself, standing up.
The kobold pretender, drawing her bow back, pulls her shot at the last moment. I don't have a clean shot. She stands ready to take a shot when one presents itself. Philippe.
I weave amidst the room, dodging back and forth between goblins engaged in melee kobolds. And I get to the tripped kobold leader at the floor, and I look down, my blade about to pierce him, but then I stop. I just put the blade forward next to the thing's neck, seeing the fancy purple robes, and I snarl at it. Do you surrender?
Surrender would mean death, if not at your hands, at the dragons.
I twirl the blade to the side and go for the neck. $16.
He pulls his cloak over himself, attempting to defend it, but useless against the piercing damage of a rapier.
Or 10 damage.
The blade sinks in through scales like a knife into a crab's carapace, crunching through. He lets out a sickening somehow still barely holding on to life. Arrow off of his shoulder, knocked punch drunk, and now sword stabbed through his neck. He makes one final attempt at ending this in his favor. Reaches his hand up, not even trying to hide it at this point, giving you clear ability to make another attack against him. Hand glowing green.
I raise my fists. Limber on my feet, shifting my stance from the power attack to strike him twice with a flurry of blows. Spell must not go through! Ha! 13 and 22.
32 hits.
For 8 damage.
Your fist lands, knocking him unconscious, the green glow fading from his hand as blood begins pooling out of his neck.
As I'm standing up, I pull my hidden scimitar in my from under my pants, and I pointing towards the room. I scan the room to see the skirmish situation, leaving the leader to my companions.
Have only the time to raise my rapier as Lash knocks the thing unconscious. Slump my shoulders. Then see Shair and I get them back up again, looking towards the rest of the goblins, and the rest of the cave.
Popping her arrow off the bowstring, she produces a wooden rectangular device and begins whipping it through the air, making a deafening clattering noise. The kobolds, in the throes of battle, blink, look. All 10 eyes land on the body of their currently bleeding out chieftain.
As the chieftain is falling down, unconscious, I go for his neck and I hold it tightly, pull his body off the floor, having it float in the air, the tail dragging against the stone and the hay. And I toss him aside.
His body hangs limply against the floor, landing with a dull thud. The 4 that were loyalists only in fair weather, they drop their spears and raise their hands slowly. The other 6 give them a quick poke or whip of the butt of their spears, but take note of things, kick the others away, and begin taking inventory.
Seeing the situation calm down a bit, I come off of like a fighting stance, still holding my scimitar. I project my voice to the new chieftain now. What about the prisoners? Where are they?
Must be deeper in. We will look for them post haste. At the moment, she looks over. I will make sure he's dead. He's still bleeding out. I don't know what made him so tough, but I don't care to see in the next lifetime. She walks over, draws a short stone dagger, and gives him a quick coup de grace, widening the neck wound that Philippe made prior.
I watch.
I take a step back, not sheathing my rapier again, but fitting the sheath to my belt, as it usually is.
I walk over to where the chief previously was, and I try to look for the thing he was polishing, the scale.
It's a large, head-sized green scale, a single piece, glowing beautifully in the dim light.
And I pick it up. I knock it, trying to bend it, seeing how resistant it is.
Incredibly flexible, incredibly durable, incredibly light. This is a famous dragon scale. There's only one material that has all of these qualities.
We've held up our part of the bargain, I say, in the dark towards the kobolds. Now you do yours.
That you have.
We'll find the prisoners.
Here. I will... She chitters in Draconic. I have told them to make it known to the laborers, the non-combatants among us. The change in management will be swift.
So will your departure from these caves, will it not?
Especially given that there's apparently another tribe looking... I don't know what to do here, and I don't care to find out. Carlo and Stella, the slaves you are looking for. She orders a couple of the other kobolds. I will have them brought to you. That way you don't risk stepping on any traps.
I still knelt down after doing some durability testing on the scale. I tug on my shirt and I keep it secured on my chest.
I would ask for only one thing.
You're asking for more? What is it?
Well, it was something I hadn't thought about until now. Who gets the spoils of the prior chieftain?
Talash is already hunching over the chieftain, turning his pockets, looking over his valuables, checking the coats, the stitchings, the craftsmanship, his weapons.
She says, you can have whatever is on him. I merely wish to keep the pieces of office intact. She motions towards the bone decor and other potential valuables that are in the room.
I walk over now to the corpse of the chief. This is very fine cloth to be in such a damp cave.
The hole that Philippe's rapier produced is starting to slowly stitch itself back together. The threads finding themselves little by little, weaving one under the other until the hole is all but repaired.
Al-Sihari, it's witchcraft. Not only is it purple. I just remarked, not only is it portable, it's also magical in nature.
Turning out the pockets of the cloak and a small side bag. There are a couple of scroll cases. The wand that was in his hand having clattered out of it as he died. A simple stone dagger.
I grab those tools, the scroll, the bag. I bundle them up in the cloak. Turn the cloak into a knot, yanking it off his body, dislocating his shoulder while doing so.
I'm still holding my rapier, pointing with it. I point at the chieftain. We'll take what our prey had. As for your knickknacks, keep them. My rapier again. But I wish you to vacate this as soon as possible. Can you do it before night falls?
Of course. Given that, we will not be able to take everything. There is an armory. I don't know if it's has anything. Yes, it might. We have a few weapons too big for us that you might find suitable. I'll have those fetched as well.
I raise my hand. What use is that? What weapons would your kind have forged?
Oh, not that my kind of forged. She chuckles and motions towards the various leather scraps that are on her, cobbled together clearly from a larger individual's armor.
Stolen goods, then. Have them brought forth.
I throw the bundle over my shoulder and wave at one of the other kobolds to bring my staff and my bundle of things. Bring it over.
The 10 kobolds scatter about.
Meanwhile, I'm walking around this hall. I'm trying to look at the general craftsmanship of the cave they made for themselves, like how elaborated it is.
The bones are clearly worked. They're polished, cleaned. It smells like a barnyard in here, but not disgusting by any means. There isn't refuse or anything other than the recently dead chief. In general, the things are somewhat primitive, but not poorly made. Behind the two boulders is a carved limestone throne sized for the kobolds.
I keep my back to the wall, lean back against it, looking at the kobolds moving around. I sigh, and finally, adrenaline dies down, and I sheath my rapier once again, but still keep my back to the wall.
Waiting for my bundle to be brought, I look around the cave now. Looking for light source I can grab, a torch maybe.
A source of light, as if to respond to this wish, begins flickering along the far side cave wall before a couple of the kobolds return with 1, 2, then 3 slaves. 2 humans and a green-skinned kobold with stripes different than the others, all in tattered clothing, but none injured, none worse for wear. The 2 humans' eyes dilated widely to take in as much light as possible, look confused but happily at the three of you.
I stop inspecting, almost touching my nose on all the knickknacks, inspecting clothes, and I look towards the commotion of the now three slaves, confused.
I finally let my guard down, dash from the wall, and just rush. Are you all doing all right? And I'm already reaching for the ropes binding them.
Ah, yes. The kobolds leading see. Oh, and they start cutting the ropes off of them.
I more commonly walk behind Philippe, joining them, trying to really read how healthy they look.
Slightly emaciated, but no wounds on them. Just dirt, calluses.
The town has mentioned the missings of the druid. Is this you?
Ah, yes. Older, bearded man raises his hand. Carla Balathi. And this is my wife, Sela Balathi. He motions to a woman about his age. A fourth prisoner or slave begins walking down the hallway as well. Another kobold leading them. That's all of us.
I look confused at the kobolds and look towards the leader. You don't claim them?
Oh, she frowns. The striped kobold. I'm so. No, I am not from this tribe. I have no loyalty here. I was trying to make my peace here. A little too loud about things, I suppose. But looks like that problem solved.
You speak the common tongue well.
I am called Night Tongue, the Glib.
I step closer into arm's range, staring him down.
I join the rest, and I do a light ball towards all of them. You should haste out of the mines. You need to feed. We can exchange the details after. You've been constrained for far too long.
The four of them nod.
As for you, I point towards the other kobold. Where is your tribe situated?
They shrug their shoulders. Well, we were deeper, further in the caves, not in these shallow human caves. That is until something I've never seen before. I don't know what it is. It's I can only best describe it as a pack of murderous gnomes. Ran through, killed everyone I could see. I don't know of any survivors. I just ran as fast and as long as I could.
You might be the only one. Continue with this kobold tribe, and you're right, Treyer. We should get out of here. We need to get you to a safe place. And I gesture towards the humans.
I pick up the ropes and walk over to the kobolds. Raise your hands. We will take you with us until we understand the situation. I start wrapping them around his wrists.
Oh, okay. They present their hands.
Gosh, I believe they have all been in prison
Very tight knots.
for far too long.
Double knotted.
We should not wrongfully restrain the creature.
A turn to Shire, responding. They are slippery. You will let your eyes off him and he will be gone. I want answers.
The
This
kobold
talks of a dragon.
cocks its head. Why wouldn't you tie me up? That's pretty logical. And you just met me. We are strange people on strange terms. It is only normal.
If you agree, then it's not wrongfully. I take back my complaint, Delash.
It is safe for both of us.
Billy chuckles kind of nervously. I don't see why we would need to take this thing, especially if it needs to be done in binds. I look over to the human prisoners. They are proof enough of what we found here. I think that the Baroness will understand once we bring them back.
I reach for my...
Dog is just... I shrug my shoulders. Just kobolds... rumoring, I guess.
While Philippe is talking, I reach for under my shirt and I pull out the large scale and I show the striped kobold tapping. Do you know anything about this?
They nod. Yeah, it's a dragon, all right. I've only seen this. Only the silhouette. Only the silhouette. She shakes her head.
Back again. Then I believe the creature is not really worth for interrogation. What else could we gather? Anyhow, I slowly make my way towards where we came from to help the others avoid the traps, the tripwires.
I think about this. You can have your life back once we are done with you, which I'm not. What is this with not a tribe living here? You haven't told us about this, and I turn to the leader.
I don't know. This must have been a recent development. We have been separated for a few days now. The kobold prisoner nods. Yes, I only arrived here a few days ago. That would coincide. One of the kobold footmen returns with your staff. Another with a bundle of a few long swords almost as big as he is, almost tripping over the entryway, winded by the torches, chittering something, and then places them on the floor in front of you.
We can leave it for the townsfolk to reclaim everything.
Yes.
We should help them recover as a priority.
I look to the town druid. I've heard your kind don't enjoy metal, but went towards it. And I went to grab one before we leave. One for your wife as well.
It looks over the things that have been dropped. Grabs a bow, hands his wife a sling. The third among them takes up a spear. Carlo mentions to you, you should definitely take the sword. Well, one of you should anyways. That is no mere steel. That's cold iron.
I look back. Cold iron. And would you please teach me on what is that?
Sure, it's fit for fighting things not of this world.
I walk over, analyze the swords, trying to find one which profile is similar to the scimitar, if there is one.
The sword is of a different style than you're used to. The typical Taldan style with a straight crossguard, straight blade, a cross section fit for piercing and slashing, but nimble enough in the hand.
I pick it up, make a gesture of thanks to the druid. I shall have one then.
I look at the man with the spear, that grabbed the spear. What is your story?
Oh, me? A woman steps back. I'm a dairy worker. Quite stupid. I was following after a cow that wandered off in the middle of the night, and, well, here I am.
We'll get you back safe. If you could help bring all of these things, and it begin like reaching down and grabbing all the swords and awkwardly trying to grab them.
Yeah, of course they nod, and the four of them begin grabbing things. Even the kobold, hands bound, is trying to pick things up in the crooks of their elbows.
He's reaching for a weapon. I look towards it.
They have a bag of something, arrows, sling stones, crooked in their elbows.
Those gnomes that attacked your tribe. What is this about? Territorial dispute? They walked past the kobolds up here?
I have no idea. We didn't really have any interactions with gnomes. They didn't say anything. I just remember they had a strange pale complexion. Unwell look about their eyes. I didn't stick around to find out. I took off with my companion.
There was no talking, I guess.
No.
Your companion, is he here?
Oh, yeah, I guess so. Somewhere.
Look at Philippe.
I look at the lash. What is it?
Well, I turn back to the kobold. I guess we can let you go now. Find your friend.
The kobold
Look
nods.
back at Philippe. If that is all we need from him.
What kind of kobold afford us? Let the thing go. Best thing we can hope is that it keeps out of trouble like this. Probably we corrected it.
I'm nodding to Philippe's words.
They bow. If you could undo the bindings, I would not forget this death.
I reached to cut it for a moment, but then I remember what the thing was bound with. Oh.
I unwork the knot with my deft fingers, take it off. And you're free to do with your life as you please.
Thank you. Nighttail will not forget this debt.
Nighttail. I say to myself, you can call me Talash.
Talash. And in case I mean to... in case this makes a motion of everything going on here doesn't work out, where should I find you to repay this debt?
If you go to Town of the Humans, south of here, you can ask if the dwarf is still resides. They will know that there's a dwarf in town.
Perhaps it's best that for now you do not mingle with the other humans. I don't think they will be as, well, how can I put this? Amicable as we have been.
I turn to Shire. Good idea. The other tribe has been. I say the other tribe has been making trouble.
I make a dismissive gesture. Just be free and make sure to not make slaves. As for me, that's payment enough.
You are too kind. She clasps her hands together and reaches out for yours, Shire.
I kind of bit suspicious, but I extend mine.
Cold.
More so because I'm really curious for the. I kind of nod to myself. Yeah, it's cold.
Cold, scaly hand wraps both of hers, wrap around yours. Shake rapidly in short, jerky movements. And then she turns around and skitters off into the cave.
I start making my way towards the entrance.
Wait,
and I point. Here is the first tripwire.
I prepare the lantern from my staff and turn it on.
As Shire is demonstrating the first trap, I sort of get closer to him, and my voice low, I almost touch my shoulder to this. So I want to caught glimpses. Can I see what you found? The scale, I think it was.
You really wish to see it now? Once again, I pull out this triangular, large piece of scale.
It really is.
I believe this is proof enough for what we're gonna tell the people and the Duchess.
These are like a heirloom. They could have gone down generations. Could be ancient, but it is worrying.
Passive would know. Quality of this item. Well, what do you think, Philippe?
I put it back, secure on the side of my heart, almost like a protection, a little plate.
I heard that dwarven kind always knew things about the treasures that they found in Talash. Why don't you appraise it? See if it's recent. Maybe
you can do so at the inn. I really do not like this tight space.
I nod to Shire. He is right. Let us find safety. Then we will check the details.
The kobold in front of you, illuminated by the lantern, is carefully disarming the tripwires and grabbing small glass vials out from the ceiling. The lantern illuminating what is clear as day, the rainbow of a petrol oil thick substance coating the walls in this tight hallway.
As I watch the little kobold work, I turn my head towards Philippe. I know some physicians from my land that would love to study this species. Very curious creatures are they?
What, the kobolds? They're as common as dogs around here, unfortunately.
How do they know?
Are there no kobolds in your land? Now I understand why you were confused with what they were.
Nah, first time I see one, or hear of one.
I hope we've already caught on to their trouble.
Everyone is trouble.
I'm more worried about these gnomes he's talking about. An unknown threat.
Are these gnomes the same as the witch we talked to? I say which, but once again,
The
Bessie, you mean the one with all the books?
yes, the diminutive lady.
I intend
druid,
to ask her.
the druid Carlos following you pipes up. Pale complexion, lives deep underground. Sounds like Darrow or maybe Redcap to me.
Red.
But I would just be guessing.
I do not know if the kobolds can differentiate a gnome from a dwarf.
Yeah. And in the dark, things are moving fast. With a flashing of blades, things get forgotten about often.
Yeah, about the dark. I think we're coming on to the next trap, and I'm going forward. Careful.
The kobold by this point has deftly undone all of the tripwires and has a bundle of these flammable vials tucked haphazardly under one arm, trotting along.
I'm still moving very weirdly, like trying to avoid a tripwire that is in there. I don't see a sheen, but I don't trust this.
One of the vials slips out of the kobold's hands, clanks against the ground, doesn't break, and without skipping a beat, the kobold looks down, picks it up, and tucks it back under, and keeps trotting along.
You should be free.
Satisfied
Let
with
us get
the
out of this.
satisfied with the situation, Talash relaxes and follows the others, keeping an eye out on our friends, wounded and emaciated.
The 6 of you make it around the corner into the cave entrance once again. The new kobold chieftain sitting atop a bizarre creature, a man-sized toad with saber-tooth-like tusks jutting out from both mouths, a thick layer of slime glistening off of the torchlight around it. She pulls up on one side of a makeshift reins. We'll not forget what you've done for us. We are heading out at once. As soon as the sun goes down, it's hard for us to travel during daylight. But you have our word. For what that's worth.
Understandable.
I wave the thing off. Find a good land to settle in, sow fields. Don't get in trouble.
Likewise.
I bow gently.
She chitters some orders in Draconic to the other kobolds, and they get back to work, piling goods here and there, getting ready to make a journey.
I'm a bit eager to make out of the cave. I press on first, breathing. Fresh air, at least. I start slapping some mosquitoes. As fresh as it can get around here.
The sun hangs high in the sky, only an hour or two having passed. An hour or two, rather.
We're not going the long way around with the water. We can climb this ledge here and we'll be able to get back to the road, right?
The 3 prisoners with you squinting, seeing full strength sunlight for the first time in months. Yeah, that should be right, the druid says.
I'll go first, and I put a hand up on the ledge of the quarry and try to climb it.
I immediately rush towards your feet to boost you up.
Oh, thanks.
The steps are large, but made for miners and others to scramble over easily. With help, it's trivial.
Reach down and help everyone up.
Now on the surface, Talash surveys the quarry again. Says, "This place is far too large for this small town, and the carvings are ancient at some parts. Must have been around for centuries."
Carlos nods. The place used to be a lot bigger, like the rest of Taldor. I'll talk and walk with you.
As I'm helping the last one climb, I reach towards my bag. Here, I know we'll have a proper meal after, but I believe you might be hungry.
Oh.
And I pull out some of the bread I packed this morning.
Oh.
Start sharing with them.
Makes a prayer motion. Erastil, thank you. He
give him some salt pork too. I actually stashed this up here to avoid it getting in the water. I give him.
You have yours?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
I love.
We cannot thank you enough. The three of them begin digging in, eating as they're walking. It's not that they.
What is a red cap, Druid?
A red cap. It's a strange little. He says between chews, strange little murderous creature. It looks kind of like a gnome crossed with a goblin. I think they're Fae, if I remember correctly. Almost always seen wearing the titular red cap, the little red felt-like hat. But yeah, they are. I only know about them because they enemies of Erastil, of all good gods, of all things good in general. They seem to exist solely to torture anything that's good.
You sound well-traveled, Druid. The town has much need for you.
Well,
just how long have you been down there exactly?
Well, I had to guess it would be, if I could see the stars, it would be easier to tell, but a couple of months, if I had to guess.
That is awful.
Well, I hate to sugarcoat it, but they were not the worst for wear.
I slap the mosquito with my arm. Yeah, but the town has been attacked, and I don't think it's even connected to these kobolds. Something came down from the stars, I think. You mentioned the stars?
Oh. He puts a finger to his lips. His wife pipes up. I think it might be in a way that isn't entirely clear. The three, I guess, that spoke common mentioned something about the dragon no longer having need for them. That was part of why they wanted to depose the chief. He was loyal to a dragon that wasn't helping them anymore.
So
I noticed
the dragon real.
Very. The druid does. Well, it might be a wyvern in truth, but yes, large scaled creature. Either way, yes.
That is very worrying.
Troubling news. You've heard their conversations for a while, have you not?
You speak their tongue?
He shakes his hand side to side. I can pick out words here and there. I know the dragon's name is Aterapax. It sounds familiar, but I would have no reason to know it.
So it's not code, as in the dragon being another local tribe or anything.
No,
it's getting worse by the minute.
I look at Shader and I make a very audible tap under my shirt. The scale.
If it is truly a dragon, then we must assemble a warband of competent fighters.
Right. And
We've got the weapons for them right here.
Well, and the best that we can probably do for you is spread the word, make it known that we know. What troubles me and what's odd is generally a dragon makes itself known, especially a green dragon. This one is playing some kind of long game. That is what's particularly worrying to me. Not usual for dragons.
If the dragon isn't helping the kobolds, then it could just be far away, right?
Potentially. It could have left. But why would it want the Hunclay dead? That's what I can't put together. I know why some locals may want him gone, but nobody that wanted him dead. Then
The only thing we know of Hunkley that is not common knowledge is the fact that, well, first he had certain demons at his service, but I believe that many wizards do. But he had made pacts in the past, pacts with the ancestors of the Baroness, I believe. So you might want to be hush about that.
He grumbles. That is unsurprising, but not good nonetheless. Let's go to Baroness Debbie. It's still light. I presume she's waiting for you.
Yeah, the town should be right up ahead, right after that turn.
Yep.
Don't you want to rest first and eat?
This is plenty of food here. Want to recount the story while it's fresh in my mind.
You're talking about the dragon hiding himself? But what would a dragon even want in this area? It's all swamps. And they only visit in town? Like, was he trading with the wizard?
That's the only thing I can think of at this point. Unless there's something underneath this place. Something as old as the dragon. A dragon that big. He has a memory that outlives even the ancestral memory of most humans. He might remember whatever was here before. Haldor's very old.
Are we talking century or centuries?
Centuries. You have to remember, Taldor was founded by one of the gods themselves when he walked Earth as a man. But, waves. Let's get to town. I can give you a history lesson some other time.
Philippe is nervous, his hands a bit twitchy now, and he has this almost like nervous smile on his face when he looks away from everyone. Kind of hide it slightly.
I am also
fear and excitement.
a bit lost in thought. My eyes wander. I'm trying to digest everything.
I look over the third person, how well she's taking it all.
She's silently stuffing her face with the last of the bread and salt pork, licking her fingers. Her eyes meet yours and just gives a silent thumbs up.
I nod.
She pipes up. I will have to take a rain check on that meeting with the Baroness. I think I will accept that offer of rest and more food. Not that I would be much help in the negotiations there. I'm not nearly as well read as these two. Like I said,
It's
I'm
fine.
a dairy worker.
After that, you should head to the tavern. People have been using it as, well, kind of a fortress, really. Plenty of good food there, and during the night, everyone sleeps together there.
Hey, I can't give you much, but if you want a fresh gallon of milk, just head by the dairy. I'll put in a good word for you.
I'll take a good cheese if there is one.
Oh,
It was good to bring more food.
I'll see if I can pull that.
I nod.
Cheese.
Say your name at the tavern. Ask for a bath, food, whatever you need.
Oh, well, you're too kind. A stranger's kindness is not forgotten around here. And you are really strangers. I don't know any of you. I only know your names from conversations.
Yes, so we are told at every corner.
Well, sorry, I should have assumed. Really, though, these are odd times, and it's good to have kind strangers in addition to the scaled ones that bring death from above and collapsing towers.
I bow slightly. The people of Bellum have been nothing but delightful to work with as well. Right. This should be the turn to the manor of the Baroness. Let's go.
The bridge and fisherman is in clear view. Bassie's small cottage home, the Baroness manor, and the ever-evident collapsed tower.
Passing over the same bridge, I wave over to the fishermen. You all still here fishing?
They wave back. Yeah, that was a quick journey. It's only been, they look up, 4 or 5 hours? That's record time.
You
I'm
got any
worried
luck?
myself. Only.
If only Talash brought back what he got, the way he held it up. I look back to Talash.
Good catch.
Yeah, now we have all the weapons of this kobold tribe. Here for the people.
Well, there you go.
I'm sure we can discuss those matters with the Baroness, how to use these tools of war to benefit the town.
Fishermen nod. Give you a wave and then return to their fishing. The dairy worker and the druid's wife take their leave at this point and go back into the town. Carlos stays with you.
I take a moment to take the dairy worker's hand, give it a squeeze. You take good care of yourselves. With the sheriff gone and the wolves still out at large, it's still dangerous.
Their eyes widen at the mention that the sheriff is gone.
The townsfolk will update you, but be wary. There is a curfew at night for your safety.
They silently nod, taking in the gravity of the situation.
I remove my hands, sneaking, having snuck 2 gold coins in her hand, without mentioning it, and turning my back to her, moving towards the manor.
Her mouth opens to protest, but you've already turned around. Thank you, really. They cross the bridge.
I start making my way towards the mansion, Baroness.
Continue down the path towards the Baroness's home with Shire.
The footman who has met you prior in his red doublet jogs down the road as he sees you. You work quickly. Good. I will let the Baroness know that to be expecting you. Be warned, the arrangements won't won't quite be ready as quickly. It will be a bit before dinner can be served.
Well, we are not properly, and I look at myself, caked in grime, and properly dressed as well, I'm afraid.
Oh, this is fine. The servants in the powder room can take care of you as they have before.
I was actually hoping for another one of those baths.
Right. I will have them.
We can accept the rest with a mission well done.
Right. He outstretches his arm to take sword belts, cloaks, whatever you happen to be carrying.
I dump a lot of my tools, including the spell scrolls, the nice cloak that's used as a bundle, my stick, the lantern.
He expertly hefts these things, juggling them.
Only my backpack, my sword, all my other clothing I keep with me.
I put a bundle down, then I need to reach back and pull up a few more swords from behind and putting them all on the floor. You might want to get help from one of your mates.
Starting to get to nope, I've got this. Starts. You have to remember we're a mining town. I might just be a footman, but forearm starts to tense up as he grips and wraps the bindings around his arm, hefts everything, loaded down like a pack mule. All right, it's all about making sure the weight's even. Starts trotting along the trail ahead of you.
That's pretty impressive.
It's smart.
A faint smile on Talash's lips.
They are a very hard-working people. It's not very in tandem with what I've heard from my lands.
He mentions, well, we are a bit more like the old Paladins. The new aristocracy. If you go to the cities, it may be more in line with what you've heard. But let me not gossip.
Well, tell me about old Taldor. I do not know this country.
Well, he motions to other servants to come out, open the gate. They dart out, collect the goods, start oiling your weapons and armor, dusting off clothes. Various servants motion to have you cleaned up, groomed with combs, perfumes. Old Taldor, he says. Well, I mean, it's a story pretty much everyone who has classical schooling in Taldor knows. The seat of humanity, spreading far and wide, conquering the surface, and some of what lies below. The world used to be monstrous. Humanity was scattered tribes, living in squalor, killed on sight by cyclops, snake men, all manner of beasts. And then Eridan, the god of humanity, well, the would-become god of humanity, led a unified front, and for thousands of years there was a golden age. Many of the countries we know today, it used to all be Taldor. You can still see a lot of the examples, even in places like this. That limestone quarry. It's a small...
I nod. It was a greater time, was it not? Things are not very much better up north in Galt. At least here, people still follow the kings and the gods, as it should be.
Yes, well, we'll see how long Emperor Stavian can keep that up.
My eyes turn back and forth as I listen to people talk, allow myself to be groomed.
An old fallen empire. What made it fall in the first place? If it's that large?
Well, let's not say fall, but managing something that large is difficult. And of course, there's, well, his eyes look to the ground. Whatever happened to Eridan? No one knows. Not even those that can commune directly with the gods can get an answer. They're either not willing to tell or even they don't know. He just disappeared.
Like no scribes recorded the histories? No tablets? No...
It's less that. you'll find there's a few scholarly groups. He scratches his head. I just listen to talk and deal with my training as so far as I can. I'm not a scholar proper, but there are a few knightly orders, some here in Taldor, some in Absalom, in the capital. They log his works, but they are calling this the Age of Lost Omens. Prophecies don't work the way they should after he died or went missing. I think he died. Otherwise, why would even the gods be so secretive about it? To me, if I was a god, I wouldn't want people to know that we could die.
I nodding to myself. Even the jinn do not answer these questions no longer. I've heard.
Locally, though, well, and more recently, I suppose, Grand Emperor Stavian, he has no heirs, so the higher nobility are left to bicker amongst themselves. There's a...
No heirs.
It was tragic. Only 5 or 6 months ago, his only daughter was killed in a tragic accident. Apparently fell down a balcony.
Only daughters. Why is the emperor have so few offspring?
That has been a topic of debate for some time, Shair. Chuckles.
I'm sure there are bastards to step up to the plate.
Oh yes, and that is part of the problem. Well,
but how many wives does he have?
Well, at current, none. His wife, also late, died some years ago, shortly after their only child's birth.
Oh, he had only one. I see. Very odd for a man of his power.
Yes. There are many things that are odd about the Grand Emperor Stavian, and it's led to a lot of, I wouldn't use the word unrest outright, but the servants are finishing up their perfuming and combing.
Talasha snatches away the comb from the servant. Do not touch my beard.
Oh,
and I do it myself.
Sorry. She leaves you the horn comb and nods and sort of embarrassedly walks away.
These knightly orders you spoke of, I take it they're so powerful down here in the south? I'm from Galt. You might have noticed from how I talk.
Right. Powerful? Kind of depends on what circle you're in. Hard to contact. That's one of them. Well known, but secretive. One of those secret societies everyone knows about. Not so much of a secret society, but he
How odd.
Hangs his head to the side. No, they do lots of study. The way I take it, they're just very busy. His face scrunches up. But yes, like I said, there are the small towns like ours where we are just trying to get all of our ducks in a row. And then there are the larger towns, which are openly or less openly plotting what to do once the Stavian lineage is done for. You and Galt know all too well how those power vacuums go.
I wish not even to think of it.
But the far reaches of the Empire was a story of, well, in Cheliax, of course, you have the open devil worshipping. That whole mess over there I would wish not to get into. But that civilization breaking away, a little less far to the west with Andoran and Isger, you had the people pleading for new systems of governance.
It is a good story, but for another day.
Right.
My friends
right.
who are foreigners, if we are to explain the continent to them, it'll take the whole day.
Yes, I would bore you to tears, I'm sure. So,
Galt, Taldor, Cheliax. Show me a map and I wouldn't know what it means.
no, right. Well, and I'm sure I don't even know if we have any maps of the Deep Scar.
I actually stop and look at the lash. Galt is directly north of here. Not too far. Don't go there. And if you do, be careful. You know those people that you helped me with? I believe they're from Galt. That they were coming for me.
So a country of criminals.
Now it is, yes.
The footman stifles a chuckle and opens the door into where the Baroness is awaiting, and servants are uncorking wine bottles.
They have seized everything that does not belong to them. They are indeed thieves. I walk through the main door talking of other matters before realizing them face to face with the Baroness.
I follow behind.
Nod.
No, I bow as well.
I bow.
I nod my head.
She says, come, take a seat. I see that you have returned Carlos, and I assume the others are well as well.
Thank the gods, yes. I take a seat.
Her shoulders relax a bit. The footman closes the door. We can drop pretense. Have a glass of wine. Goblets are filled in front of the four of you.
I sit
Position
down.
myself correctly for the servants to bring the food and wine.
I start drinking.
She pinches her nose on the bridge. One headache out of the way. I will trust your word that the kobolds are dealt with. I don't need to know exactly how.
They will not appear once again, and if they do, call me.
I'm afraid that we have more problems to announce, though. As one is solved, two more appear.
I didn't expect everything to be solved immediately. In truth, this was a bit of a test. She swirls the wine in her goblet. What did you learn?
I pull from under my shirt the large scale, and I gently put on the table in front of her.
She takes in air sharply. So the rumors were right. She takes a long drag of her wine.
I begin drinking now too, with my free hand, picking up the scale once again and putting it under my shirt.
The now late leader of the kobolds served this beast, this dragon, whose name the druid knows.
The druid pops up. A Teparax. The Baroness turns a shade paler. Right. Dragon. We know the name. That's good. Uncharacteristically stammers.
I lean towards Philippe in a low voice. Why does knowing the name of the dragon is of importance? Why is that?
These things are so old that we might be able to read about it in books.
Oh. I thought it was like a djinn. We could bound it.
Not likely. She shakes her head, calling a servant over to fill her goblet again. That either we're being played for fools, or that is not only an adult dragon, it is an ancient dragon. They were supposed to have been killed by my ancestors centuries ago.
That is interesting. For you see that this dragon is the one that orchestrated the death of the wizard, Huntley.
That was information I already may have been privy to, and it's good to hear it from the horse's mouth. Her eyes narrow. She relaxes
A
again.
confused
into her throne.
expression with that idiom.
We know that the kobolds dug a tunnel under the wizard's tower. He did not pay them for the services, and so they took it upon themselves to take what is theirs, which led to the dead bodies outside the tower.
I will inform you of some information I've been holding out. Forgive me, but the three of you were total strangers, and in these times I needed to know I could trust you, and you have more than proven your trust. The day after the wizard died, word was sent via his raven to the only living relative we know of his cousin in Yenmas. This morning, we got a reply from her. Her letter didn't seem to be too distraught that he had died, and she indicated very strongly no interest in coming to Bellum to claim his estate. She requested that we auction off all of his property and possessions and merely send the proceeds to her.
Family not mourning for their kin? I turn to Philippe. Is this also human?
That is not common.
I'm eating silently now, listening.
I know already that you explored the manor, got rid of most of the danger. That saves me a great headache. If it is no trouble, I would like to pay you for whatever it is you found in there, and a flat percentage of the proceeds whenever they get done.
Yenmas is not that far to the east, is it?
No, not too far. A few days' journey, maybe, depending on how you take it.
Strange that there is no interest in this. Did the letter speak of anything else? You mentioned knowing of this dragon threat.
The dragon's threat. People have seen silhouettes, strange things. A scale like that showing up here or there, but up until now it was always considered a hoax. Surely if there was a dragon, we would know about it. The gnomes in the Verduran forest not far from us would know about it.
Gnomes?
Ah, yes. Where Bassie's people come from. There's a gnomish commune.
Are they of pale complexion?
She ponders. They're of, like most gnomes, varied complexion. If you see a gnome of pale complexion, it is usually quite a bad thing, as I know.
I turn to Philippe.
I don't think those are the gnomes, my good friend Talash. There is trouble then, if there really is a dragon around. Maybe we could arm a ballista at one of the towers. I don't know. I am at a loss for what to do. Unfortunately,
I finished biting off a piece of food. The dragon has not made itself known even though it is a very large creature. It might be either hiding or doing something more sinister.
What we do know is, whatever the dragon used those kobolds for, their services were no longer required, which led to a lot of tumult, a lot of problems, which means he got what he wanted. I narrow my eyes. A dragon who has what he wants is bad news.
You mentioned that your ancestors defeated a dragon like this, correct? I say before taking a swig of the wine.
Yes, there's a dull thud. The wine shaking in the goblet back and forth. Servants grabbing chairs to stabilize themselves.
I clear my throat. And start looking around.
There's another thud. Dust shaking off the chandelier over the long table. A guard in his breastplate, ragged, bursts in through the door. Not a rumor. He points up. It's just sitting there.
My eyes widen. I look at the Baroness.
No. I get up from my chair and gulp audibly, and oh no, my hands are shaky.
Is it perched there? Do not attack anyone.
It just beckoned with a single claw, and I felt I knew that I had to come out. It wants to communicate, I guess.
I stand up once again, looking at the Baroness.
I look towards her as well.
She downs her last goblet of wine, wiping her lips of the red stain, stands up from her throne.
We can't guarantee your safety.
No. My safety wasn't guaranteed from the moment I was born into this position. If that thing wanted this place toppled, well, just look at it. Look at what it did to the Wizard's Tower. We might as well hear it out.
I'm gonna be frozen in place.
Perhaps we can evacuate the town. I'll buy us time. But fight it.
Talash puts his hands on the table. Let us see how big this lizard is.
Talash, I don't think you understand.
I turn to Shire. Oh, I understand. Dragons are powerful creatures that crave knowledge, power, dominion, enslave those lesser than them, which is everybody that is not a dragon, including dragons. The only way to get rid of it is to kill it, or to bargain with it, in which case you might as well have bargained with the devil himself. And I look at one of the servants, Stave.
They shake and hand you the staff.
I look at one servant holding my buckler. I start sweating.
The Baroness looks over the three of you and says, "Do what you must."
I look at Philippe. Shouldn't we be with the Baroness? As futile as it.
If we are to fight this beast to the death, then at least make it count. Get the people out of here. Get help from the capsule where you can.
Make word for Josiah. We can use his help. Him and his buddies armed. If they wish to fight for their town, they should be present.
Talash, it won't be a fight. It'll be a slaughter.
I turn to Philippe. This is not our town.
The guard opens the door and freezes the moment it opens, just holding the door open, shaking in place.
I'm slowly putting my gear back on, a bit shaky.
I reach a hand out, put it on Trey's shoulder. Listen, I've trained my whole life for this. You're a foreigner here. You might want to go.
There's a thud, thud, thud. The tack of the kobold's claw on stone multiplied by 10.
I shake every tap as if someone is threatening to punch me.
I look at the Baroness. I will stand by your side, but you must decide what is best.
I believe what's best is my town not being reduced to a smoldering pile of acid. If at the moment that means we live in servitude, or maybe it just wants one deed of service out of us. We don't know yet. We don't even know if it's the same dragon. We need information right now.
I'm muttering some elemental lords' names under my breath as I'm adjusting my buckle, make sure my scimitar is fast on my belt.
Are you sure you're ready for this, Jair Galash? I am ready. I've trained my whole life to help the common people, but you two, you've just gotten here and you've been so much help.
I say, good, and a couple scrolls. I scrunch together from the kobold. I shove them into your chest, Philippe. Meg has some tales of those. It might be useful. I put on the cloak, the purple one.
There's a warming sensation as this magical aura envelops you from the cloak.
We don't have the time for the scrolls. I look towards the Baroness. May I take the honor of representing you, then, Baroness, to the dragon?
She pauses, ponders. I suppose so. You have put your life on the line more than once for me. I can allow this if you would do me the honor.
Sadly trembling, I turn to the two of them.
She slumps back down in her throne.
I can't ask much more than to... I really can't ask much more of you. I believe that this is where we part, is it not?
I'm staring at my hand, looking down.
Shair, you've not talked to me. And I put a hand on his shoulder and shake him slightly.
I am wordless. I want to hope that the dragon might demand something and lives may be spared, but if... And I look at you like with actual fear in my eyes. That there is no fight. I know you are aware of that.
You underestimate your own power, Shair. I put a hand on your side, on your elbow. You're strong, you're capable, and you're well-traveled. You must not charge into a foolish fight, but we must assess this situation. I will not go into servitude again, dragon or not.
There's an old saying that you should only believe a green dragon if you want to be backstabbed. So be ready for anything. They're the most cunning of their kind. Let's go.
Reluctant steps after Philippe.
I put
Outside.
myself in front of them, letting them be quite a few paces behind. Thing is to strike one of us down, then it'll be me.
I nod. Good plan.
The guard makes his first move since opening the door and steps out of your way. The beast looms, standing on the limestone flagstones surrounding the castle, or manor rather. The size of a house, ragged and graying, blackish green scales, sightless cataracted eyes, rippling muscle visible even below scales. It huffs a breeze as a gale force wind from its mere breath. I was beginning to wonder how much longer you were going to waste my time.
I close my eye as the huff hits my face first, and I straighten myself and take a step out in a dignified manner. And I look up. I take it you wish to talk to the Baroness of the town?
I wish to talk to whoever the representative of this town is, whether that's the Baroness, whether that's you. His words come with a pressure, as if the atmosphere itself is changing, pressing you down into the earth.
I represent the Baroness, who represents the town.
Very well. That can be arranged. Please, step out. A large clawed hand, almost the size of your entire body, motions you to step out into the courtyard.
I do so. Taking a nervous look back to see if my friends are even following me at this point.
I'm adjusting my turban. My hands are sweating around the hilt of my scimitar. And my legs do not want to move, but I force them to walk forth.
I look up at Shire, holding eye contact for a few seconds before I turn my gaze outward and step out as well.
Once outside, the same pressure begins affecting you, as if the weight of hundreds of pounds of rocks pressing down on your shoulders, making it hard to breathe. The dragon produces something from behind it, what looks like a small bead in its hands. It drops to the ground, becoming visible as an ivory scroll case on the ground, about a foot long. I am Ateparax, Lord of Dragonfin. I'll skip the other titles. The wizard Hunclay promised me many things before his death, a few books among those things. I have made efforts to obtain these lawfully, but my representatives have failed me, and my forbearance is at an end. You will find the rest in that tome.
I scan the dragon, attempting to ascertain its age with my limited knowledge.
I am muttering a prayer under my breath.
It must be ancient. Anything that's showing this sign of age as a creature of its sort would take hundreds of years to get to that point. This is the sort of creature only written about in fairy tales, not regularly seen.
I do take a step forth, and before sneaking a glance of the size of this thing, I reach down and grab the scroll. Start looking down at. If you wish for us to take inventory, then we shall.
It bows its head. Thank you for being reasonable. I give you 2 weeks to deliver the notes in there to the place. I believe you know it as the Monastery of St. Carixius, something like that. It is across the Dragon Fin. In the interim, none are permitted to leave Bellum. You have seen the effects of a mere one of my minions, and the rest blanket the countryside. Those who leave the town shall suffer for it. I will choose a few to deliver my ransom, and you may travel freely. Should you defy me or fail to satisfy my demands, I shall lay waste to this little town and kill every living inhabitant down to the last infant.
Your terms are acknowledged. I think.
Good.
Gold.
If that's it, then I will take my leave.
I nod.
It raises its hand, snaps a finger, and with a deafening thud, it's gone in a flash, air filling the vacuum where it once was.
I get pushed back and I fall on my back with the wave, the impact wave.
My eyes go left to right and up and down and looking.
The wave is so strong, Talash takes a step back too.
I give in and I lay with my back. I just spread arms and legs, looking up to the sky.
The guard getting a hold of himself, but shakes it off immediately and runs out. Are you? What did? Shakes his head.
It has delivered its terms.
Sorry, I was useless there. I don't know what came over me.
I think we all were.
I don't know how I would punch his throat and stun him. He's way too far up there.
The thing wasn't even flying yet. Let's just go back to the Baroness.
I'm still laying on the ground, on the grass, looking up. My mouth is muttering.
I walk over towards Jair, towering over him. I reach down a hand. Come on, friend.
We cannot do what it wants.
We have no choice in the matter, do we?
The Baroness.
I clasp Talash's hand. I'm shaking. No, the book, Philippe. The book, whatever it is. I gestured to the sky. Up there is 1,000 times worse than that dragon. We cannot let it commune. But and I hold my head, looking at the floor and on the ground.
I look to the ground as well, almost ashamed. Yes, but
we are talking about something that could end not only a city, a country. Golarion itself might be in danger. If whatever it brings from above the stars.
My eyes wander upwards to the town. My lips tremble slightly. I was ready to give my all, but to give all of these people, I motion forward. If the book is to be destroyed, then we'll deny this thing the book, but then the town will be destroyed. Down to the last infant. Have you heard it?
I did.
So what do you suppose we do?
I look at my hand. Logic would have me say that it is better to lose a hand than your entire body. But things are not so black and white, are they?
If you are ready to make this choice for the town, then you go ahead and do it.
I cannot have. I cannot have so many souls, their bloods on my robes.
So we deliver the thing the book then. Let's go
and
tell that to the Baroness.
Telash, having helped Chiron to his feet, listening to both of them. But he has not asked for your hand. You still have both of them. You do not know what you have to give. But let me tell you, as a dwarf who knows, it is not of a matter of how much of you lives. You just take the day and survive. And when the day is over, you will survive the next day. And after that one, you will survive the one after that. We have 2 weeks, we'll find a way.
A mortal man, Telash, with a cursed book can do so much evil. That thing will outlive 1,000 men. The evil he could do with the book will outweigh. Isn't it better to lose, and I gestured toward the village, a village than a whole nation, a whole country, the continent?
The guard spits out, but what if it just does that and gets the book anyways? Surely there's got to be something we can do.
I will fully investigate the book. It gave us 2 weeks, but I can't promise much more. Not with the odds we're facing. Come on, let's go inside. Nudge towards the manor. I must deliver this to the Baroness.
The guard takes up post outside, looking around for any threats.
I follow to dry my hands on my robes.
I enter the manor and start walking down the long way of the table to put the scroll before the Baroness before sitting at my own spot.
The Baroness cracks the wax seal on the scroll case. Well, it was impossible not to hear the conversation, at least from the dragon's end of things. I have a few people, two of which you've already met, Bassie, our town historian, and Targus, the Abadarn priestess, but we have a stable hand and former adventurer, Lazara. I think he would be good to meet. Talk about, well, what to do in the likely event that she stops as her eyes glance over the terms. She starts laughing. It's got a sick sense of humor. I don't think there's that much money in this whole town.
It did not mention money. It mentioned a book.
Well, it is 5 books. One notable, Secrets of the Dreaming Dark. This one's underlined. And an indemnity of 2,000 gold for each resident of Bellum.
That is preposterous.
Right. I think if we auctioned off everything, including the mines, we could get maybe 6 figures. Maybe. I have a feeling he knows this.
The mines, they could be safe within the quarry. We cannot reach us there.
That might be a good idea.
Yes,
Is there a hidden passage, like a tunnel? The things that I can walk around, but not the rest of the people.
You mentioned that there was below Hunclay's tower. I was not aware of this, but evidently there's something.
This is correct. The reason the tower fell in the first place. The kobold tunnel.
I think not even us know where it goes. We've not fully cleared it up.
It connects with the kobold tribes, but we do not know its length or direction, or if it directly connects to the quarry or not. Even less so if humans fit through it. They are small.
Pinches her nose. She waves her hand dismissively. I want you to take 2 or 3 hours. Meet back here at sundown. I will organize a meeting with the movers and shakers here, the people I think can do something, and the people I know who have had dealings with dragons or at least well read on them, and we can come up with something. She wrings her hands.
I take a wine of glass and just down it in one long gulp. Get up. We'll do that.
Telash nods. Good. And collects the rest of his things.
I am grooming my own beard, lost in thought, muttering Saraisur. We could use the gin, if we could.
I do not know what you speak of, Shire.
We seek refuge under the earth, the elementals, the jinn. I mean, they will bargain, but I doubt they will be as vile as the dragon. They want to refuse someone seeking shelter under earth.
If you know the rituals to call for them, then I'm willing to try anything.
I'm no priest.
I didn't know how we would do something like that. I think what we need to do is to see where the tunnels go, make sure the tunnels are safe. That way we can get a good amount of people out of here when the time comes, because I believe that if we do it now, even if we just try it, Dragon will know. Must have eyes everywhere.
We must be able to take stock of his allies. If the kobolds are gone, then who serves them? How will he know? Is it magic?
I would not be surprised if the dragon can disguise himself as a mortal.
Could be, yeah. I think we're out of our depth here. I don't know. I just don't know.
On that I agree. I expected a horrible monster, but he was bigger than I thought. I underestimated the situation.
I'm supporting myself on a little furniture with one hand, holding my head with the other.
It is a monster. There is no way we can offer what terms the thing has delivered. I don't think such an
The
amount of
normal
gold
witch.
will even exist if we hollow out the earth under the town.
The gnome witch might be able to do something for us.
On
Basi,
that note,
Surely,
let's end the session.
great
Yeah.
session.
All right.
yo.
All right.
All right, guys, you're all role playing too much. Like, what is all this talking happening in this game? Am I right? What's going on here? I'm
It was
joking.
promised
I'm
a boss
absolutely
fight
joking.
session.
You only had one fight?
He only had one fight, and of course, my
One
rolls
fight?
are like 1, 3, 4. Oh, well.
I need to go to the bathroom.
I will have to I have to confess, I charged the kobold, and I had no idea how the charge rules work. But I did see it like doubles my movement speed, so
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Oh, I mean, it's simple enough. Like I said when we did the session 0 for this, like because two
Yeah.
of you are brand new to Pathfinder, I was like, instead of having it be a +2 to your attack, I'll just have it be a -2 to their ACs. That way,
okay, right.
you don't have to think about it. I'm charging them. I know you have a +2, so whatever
I
number you know.
I was trying to look it up, so I was like, wait, do I look up at the elephant in the room? So I was scanning that, couldn't find anything. So I was like, I'm just rolling my normal attack roll and see what the result is, and and I hit.
Absolutely.
So after I hit, I just roll for normal damage and go from there.
I do think, and I want Nicholas to be here for to give his opinion on
Yep.
this, but I'll go ahead and mention it. This is where kind of the system mastery of things I think can get messy, but still cool, and it didn't affect the outcome. You still managed to kill that chieftain without so much of a scratch on you. When he is on the ground trying to cast his acid arrow again, I had him make the gestures without trying to cast defensively, and I was trying to prompt without saying as much that you get an attack of opportunity against him. But only Zonalar...
Was that the second time or the first time?
The second time. Yeah,
Yeah, I caught that one.
Yeah, Zonalar got it, but I noticed that Philippe and Shair didn't take attacks against him. It didn't end up mattering, but
I think that I didn't get it. Like I have a character realize that was an opening for me to take my reaction. I think I already took my reaction that round.
I guess when you grabbed the sword out of the air, you get that's not really
okay.
There's not really an action for that in Pathfinder for like grabbing a thing, so I was like, I just took that as the like if you have a staff or something to remove and put your hand back on it is considered a free action. So I was like,
you can kind of say it's like a delay turn almost.
Yeah, and combat is messy by nature, but I mean, let's talk about mechanics. Within that combat, we saw spells, flurry of blows, stunning fist, trip, and a grapple attempt. We're dealing with an enemy who is grappled, an enemy who is prone, like all of this, and I thought it went by pretty smoothly.
Go ahead. Yeah.
If the thing got up, I would have used a relocate toggle maneuver, like to get it to the wall. Like,
that would
back
be
and
cool.
forth, like getting it to back to a movement circle.
Yeah.
And a steal, maybe a steal or disarm for the wand that the other kobold mentioned as well would be pretty cool.
I think this is a So sorry, I'm like jumping in all the time over here.
That's good. You have
I'm so bad at this. I don't know why. Like keep on the top. There's a couple of elements that come to my mind. Is we also have the kobold allies, which is the consequences of how we roleplay. Which is also, you play a game like Pathfinder, you think, oh, you can get those diplomacy checks off too, if you really want to gain allies to help you, or at least to not fight. And I enjoy that a lot, that the kobolds are distracting his guards or in a conflict with them. So did you keep track of, if you fight for 3 rounds, are all the kobolds dead and dying, and now they fight us? Or how did you have that in your mind, like how you want to GM that?
I had them make a morale check, just like a will save of like, these are people that until a few days ago lived with each other.
Exactly. Yeah, that's
and,
my head.
Most I was like, they're outnumbered. On your side, they don't exactly want to, kill these people, but they don't have weapons that are good for taking prisoners. So what do people do in that situation? Well, they kind of make show of like, I'm fighting you, don't go anywhere else, or I might stab you. And so they just tie each other up, right? That is the vast majority of people in group combat don't end up actually accomplishing much other than preventing people from moving around.
Like a bunch of showboating and trying not to get stabbed.
Right. Because it might look like, oh, okay, I don't think his heart's really in it. I'm going to turn. Oh. But as soon as you see a spear or anything sharp moving out of the corner of your eye, that lizard brain, literally in this case, takes over and you go, I don't know. I don't know if I can trust that he's really not going to stab me here. And this is something that the Roman generals mentioned. It's something that Shaka Zulu mentioned, and one of the reasons they specifically chose shorter weapons for mass combat. Sun Tzu famously says, you want to put your soldiers into positions from which they cannot retreat, where they have to get so close to each other that they have to fight. But with spears, maybe I just, kind of poke at each other for a little bit.
Burn the boats after landing. The only way is through.
Yeah.
Honestly, so I have 2 things that I want to say. First off, I love how there was no diplomacy check between us and the kobold, because we both wanted the same thing, basically, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So many times, like in RPGs, like they're played by the book. Like, oh yeah, you make a deal with the good kobolds, roll diplomacy. Like you see this so frequently. We're like, yeah, every like step forward can only be achieved by some mechanical mean, which in this case is the diplomacy check, right? But in this, like, what we actually do, like the role play that we do, is what actually carries a story forward, which I think is the right way to do a role playing game, right? It's not like a role playing game,
right? And I did have you make that bluff check to see how convincing of a prisoner you were. And of course, I immediately roll a 1, so the chieftain just strolls right on up to you. Oh, we're great, a prisoner, cool.
But there made sense because it's something that my character could have fumbled, right?
Right,
it
exactly.
Made perfect sense.
And this, this chieftain is a little suspicious of this. Like, okay, it's feasible that the kobolds that broke away and went to the other half of the caves are making an offer of goodwill and want to rejoin, but it'd be really soon. Oh, okay, whatever, sure. It looks good to me.
I'm more than happy that a lot of this was ambiguous, because they speak about it in Draconic at times to figure out like what's actually going on. And we just have to like use context clues, which is great for role playing. I just like it grinds my teeth, right? If it grinds my teeth when the game master really is what's the word? If he's really narrating everything that's happening, even though you don't speak the language, just so you can do like, oh, now I know everything that's happening in here. Now I can make a decision about it. Like, no. Keep it ambiguous. If you don't speak the language, that's the drawback.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. And that's exactly where like where the mechanics don't always mean rolling dice, right? One of the mechanics here that was used constantly was, do you know the language or not? Are any of you, particularly intelligent enough to know a lot of languages, to know Draconic, to be able to speak with these individuals? And the answer is no. So And I think Pathfinder as a system does a really good job of having these state-based actions, which is to say, you know the language or you don't, or you're either on the ground or you're not, or you're grappled or you're not. It's not really, once it's there, that's just the state that you're in now.
You also have a good system to, okay, they are communicating. Now make a roll to get the context clues, like what is happening.
Right.
Even if you don't speak the language, maybe you speak, maybe you understand their tone of voice. Like the hissing or the clicking, the way a lizard behaves or the way he tucks his tail away. It like gives you a tell to work on.
Absolutely.
Also, I love how the fights, like all the fights we've done so far, are complex in an interesting way.
Yeah.
Some people might lament, "Oh, you didn't clear out, dungeon room by dungeon room." Back in my day, we knew how the session was going if we cleared like X amount of rooms. Like, isn't it much more memorable? Like that one time we used a fight between a kobold tribe to get a jump on this guy,
I would say I was considering like take stock of everything here as a thing Talash would do, so we can make sure like and it's more of a thing that we get all the clues, like that the kobolds hit something, or they just don't know that. Oh, they happen to have a book around, but they didn't know that it's valuable, so they wouldn't tell us about it. Like stuff like that, just so that we can also like work like within the quest. There's a bit of meta behind that.
I don't know.
Yeah,
So the quest flows well.
I think despite the issues with this module, which it does have a few, it does a pretty good job of not needing you won't like soft lock yourself because you didn't unturn every stone.
You missed the MacGuffin and therefore you're soft locked out of the quest.
You missed out on like a little bit of extra money. That is basically it.
You didn't specify that you look for secret doors in this specific tile.
Right, exactly. You didn't run your hand along every single wall and crevice.
even in video games today, like I do not 100%. I don't like clean every room because that's boring. I wanna do the main gameplay thing. I will not be opening every single chest.
Like the natural flow of how you would behave in that game as that character.
And again, the natural flow, like the characters are tired, we walk through mud. Right. We did what we wanted. Now we have these slaves. We're not gonna be like, oh, hold on, sit here on the dark for another 2 hours because we want to check if there's extra.
We got those 3 prisoners. Wait, was that lady a gnome, the dairy farmer? Because I missed that completely. I heard she was a gnome, but then I was like, but I'm not sure.
No,
so do I just ask you that is she a gnome? Because if I do, then my dwarf is like, well, do you not see the difference of a gnome or a human? I'm like, I didn't know how to ask that question.
That's a good.
I did not even pay attention. I thought she was human.
Yeah, that was my intention. She was just human. It's like the default.
Yeah, I must have misheard then because I had gnome in my mind.
I totally knew she was a gnome because she was really tiny. I remember that.
Was she tiny?
Yeah, I remember that. Like I remember Tyler talking about like the furniture in her room, how it was like all tiny and like it didn't really fit us.
What do you mean? No, you're talking about Bassie. I'm talking about the milkmaid. That was a prisoner. That was my question, and I never asked the question because asking that in character would be weird. Like, okay, what is it? Schrödinger's gnome, right? If I look at her, is she a gnome or a human? How do you ask the question in character?
You notice that I said I looked at the person that grabbed the spear. That's because I didn't have like anything on them before I asked.
Yeah.
Right. And
I guess I overlooked the prisoners to check if she's a gnome. But even that, like, it feels so unnatural to me. So I just like left it ambiguous until I get more context clues.
Yeah, I guess so. It's something I would mention if it was important. I guess.
Yeah,
it's
if
one
it
of
was
those
like
things
if
where,
it stands out.
Yeah, I guess it's one of those things where it's. I assume everything's a human unless stated otherwise, right?
Yeah.
That's
Default.
yeah. So yeah, that's a good point though. I was juggling a lot of stuff there. There's 10 kobolds running back and forth, grabbing random stuff. There's 4 prisoners, and I'm like trying not to play dolls with myself and like describe one character, then the next character, then the next character, then the next character. And it's dark in here, so I'm like, hey, there's some people,
Never have dinner at the with the Baroness. Worst mistake of my life. Every single time we have dinner with the Baroness.
Shaiar's getting entangled in all the bullshit. Like, why do I have to deal with the dragon?
I want to note also another way that the mechanics there just played out through the role play was
the effect.
Yeah.
I realized when you mentioned like the air getting heavy, like, okay, yeah, this guy has an aura to him,
Right.
He's aura-maxing.
Yeah, he is aura-maxing.
Even if he didn't have one, like, honestly, stop to think about it. Like, you're seeing like this gigantic lizard thing that can just melt things with his spit. Like, would you really be like cocky?
Right.
Yeah. That's the good thing about people that actually roleplay. You can have these scenes be serious, because if you're playing this in a 2D game, so they'll describe their character mocking the dragon. And if you do that, the dragon will kill you. Like, you're talking out of character there.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, I'm not doing that. I was just making a joke.
And it's also the difference between the game master, like, playing out the dragon set piece for level 1 characters, like, oh, the dragon is showing up and attacking the castle, you're all in danger. But if you do 20 damage, he's gonna run away because it's like, don't hurt me.
Right.
It's like a classic example from the D&D 5e adventure, like one of the early ones. Yeah. I think it's Turley of Dragons that uses that one.
Stronger for us to fight later.
This one I think is pretty clever in the way that it's set up, without just spewing, exactly what's going on. The only thing I had to quickly do some they sequence broke the thing. Because the module does assume that you deal with the kobolds, then you go through the wizard's manor. So because you did things in the other order, I was like, wow, that's really cool. 2,
we have no clue, it's like, this thing is in town, this other thing is outside, and outside are Griffs and wolves and all kinds of monsters.
Right, it's kind of funny that way, the where the module tries to have like townsfolk and the servants in the manor dissuade you from exploring it, and I'm like, but
did it do that? I've completely forgot.
Right, but I'm thinking, I'm like, no, I know how people naturally are. If you tell them, hey, don't go in there, don't investigate that, they're immediately going to go investigate it.
I need to say something, because there was a moment where it did take me out a little bit of the situation, and it came from Nicholas when he said the dragon made his demand. Like,
I was not doing a cheeky thing. I was not doing it. It was just like, that's the first word that came to me, and I thought, I could stop and think for a different word, but I won't.
Right.
Yeah.
That take me out of it a little bit.
That is very funny. I did not notice it whatsoever.
I wasn't even thinking of it.
They were in the zone. I thought about it. Should I change the word? But it will take time for me to think of another word.
I was saying the dragon delivered his terms. Like, which you could argue is like me,
I don't know. You can make an argument over whether or not it draws more attention to it when you're trying to change it, Streisand affecting it.
Yeah.
Just embrace the. He said it. He said the name of the.
You go
Well, I
with the
guess-
first thing that goes through your head to keep the flow of the game, like preserve the flow of the game.
It's
So we
him.
can
It's
move.
non-dragon.
I guess the dragon puts on sunglasses.
Yeah.
Made his demand.
And that's the end. No more campaign.
Roll credits.
I this is the session that I cursed the game. We're never gonna finish it now.
Yeah.
Those words jinxed it. Yeah.
Oh man.
And that's gonna be another problem. I mean, people have holidays, so you'll
Right.
find out like in 2 weeks, probably. Very soon.
Yeah,
sure.
and a 2-week hiatus is the least of our worries at this
Yeah.
point, right? So,
And then we'll find out if the end of the world does come and America
Right.
becomes a third world country or not, and like Brazil rises up
Fallout.
yeah,
and takes over the continent.
who knows?
It's a mystery.
Yeah, the mystery.
Mr.
There is one thing I want to say that I wrote down on my
Yeah.
notes.
Yeah.
Specifically about the system, because like this is a trial, like the role playing Pathfinder. Right?
Right.
I love how the fights felt cinematic. Now I should say how this word is like used for all manners of different things in RPGs. What I mean here is that it felt like something that would actually be like in a movie or like in a book. Because if you read a book, right, it's not just describing, oh, he swung, oh, he parried, he swung, he parried, right?
right.
Books
The
usually
last
have
action
characters-
shapes the next one, right? Whatever happened last has an impact. It is not like in isolation. It has an effect on the following things to come.
Exactly, like knocking the kobold leader down, like surrounding him,
Yeah.
like it's escalating. But it's also the notion that we have plans. Like usually, like in a D20 game, what happens is, okay, I roll. Okay, I hit 7 damage. Okay, roll, hit 8 damage. Roll, hit. Like it's just a roll off. Like you're rolling and
Right.
seeing whoever hits 0 hit points first.
The two melee characters meet each other and they just start, playing,
Rolling off, yeah.
we actually have a term
Whack-a-mole.
for this. We actually have a term for this in HEMA and some of the other martial arts. When you put a sword or a weapon in someone's hands for the first time, they like to play a game called whack fuck, which is where they walk up to the other guy and they go whack, fuck, because there's no defense or planning.
Yeah.
That I want to hit the other guy. That's as far as they think about it. And it becomes that way with RPGs a lot too, where it's just, I need that guy's number to hit 0 and I need my number to be bigger than his. And there's no other thought put into it, really.
And the systems itself, they reinforce that by how do you survive? You kill better, harder, right? You just do more damage faster.
Right.
Which is why spells like haste are so coveted as, oh, this is awesome, and fireball.
Yeah, and
Oh, I can explode the whole room. Like, what if we casted fireball in that cave?
Yeah.
Bad
exactly.
news.
Yeah.
Full of hay everywhere, smoke everywhere. Like fucking, we have smoky lungs. We can't see shit. Everything is
Not
on
enough
fire.
room for a fireball. And
Yeah.
you know what? It's also an issue of casters. Only casters have interesting things to do in that setup. But now
Right.
look at how our fights have been.
Yeah.
Like the bear, like we worked together as a team for me like to blind it. Look how like this fight was, where like we surrounded it. We had
And-
like this cunning plan. It felt like something that you can read in a book or like see in a movie, because it's
And
not just
here,
choreography. It's the interesting like situation.
Nicholas didn't need to, like, what's the word for it? He didn't need to word, when the kobold sorcerer is trying to cast acid arrow at him. I didn't need any mechanical terms to know what mechanics were happening there. It was very simple to silently go, he took a free action, he dropped prone, so the kobold now has a -4 to hit him.
Oh,
That's it.
'Cause I
I was just like,
Panache.
it's easy on the fly, and I didn't have to think, I did briefly think, he's making a touch attack, and I have your guys' normal AC, but I don't have your touch AC up here. I rolled so low, plus the -4 of Shair ducking out of the way, that I was like, well, there's no possible way that a 2 hits his touch AC, which is like a minimum 10. So And that's what I made a video about breakpoints, about this idea of, well, okay, if you know the base is 10, then don't do all of this math to try and make sure all your ducks in a row to find out, yes, a 6 doesn't hit. Well, you knew a 6 didn't hit. The base is 10. It can't possibly have hit.
Very similar to action economy, deciding how many attacks or decisions you can make per round.
Right.
You also have like this word economy of like how much time do you spend in your round at a table discussing plans or asking clarifying questions, you know? Is it 1 question, 2 questions, 5 questions? And how long do you think about it? You know, like chess players sitting at a board and the other guy just takes 20 minutes thinking about his next move.
Right. You want to play speed chess. You know, you don't want to be you don't want to be sitting here playing
because like the battlefield is imperfect. You cannot and you should not try to make perfect decisions. Make the decisions as they come up, which makes the combat interesting and makes the combat also be different every time you enter one.
Yeah. For me, the crunch is there so that on the fly, I know -4 to hit. Boom. I don't have to think, how much of a negative should he take for going prone here? And then we don't have to discuss after the fact, okay, so I gave him a -2 to hit because you dropped prone there. Do you think that's okay? And do you think that should be like a free action, or should I not have let him do that in response? Should it take longer for him to drop prone? Maybe he should take damage when he drops prone. And we're spending, you know, all of this time designing the game, right, from the ground up, rather than just having, I already know what it is, right? I don't want to have to make a sandwich first invent the universe problem.
I'm very much like on my end, I just like, okay, what do I do when it's my turn? I had the dagger ready. I don't have the stats for a dagger ready though. So I'm just like, I go there when I actually do the thing. And I know, okay, well, I'm using my strength anyway, so I don't need to math differently.
Right, and monks have the nice thing of any time they use a weapon they're proficient with, they can just use their monk unarmed attack bonus, so you know.
Oh, okay.
So you know, if it's a dagger or brass knuckles or nunchucks,
it wasn't anything special like as a fancy weapon type, so I didn't have to think about those.
No. You just use your fist damage, or whichever's higher in that case. So you know a quarterstaff does a D6 damage. Well, eventually your fists will do a D8 damage. So eventually,
and those daggers, they literally don't make a difference for Talash because he's a monk.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
As a character, I don't want to go in empty-handed if I don't have to. Yeah. And I do have this like small chest of mithril daggers. Yeah. Fuck yeah, I'm gonna pocket them into my tunic. They're mithril daggers. So much better.
It gives you the little things of like, yeah, you can hit really hard, but this dagger is going to find weak spots. It's going to find veins, arteries, that sort of stuff more often. So it crits on a 19. You can throw the dagger if you need to. You know, but your hands are never going to get disarmed to say you never lose them. So they all have their different advantages, and you don't have to think about the mechanics a ton on the fly. It's just a logical thing of, I have a dagger, I can throw it if the guy's too far away.
I might like at the very end ask, is it D4 D6 on the dagger?
Right, and then you can say rules clarification, and then there you go.
You want to hear a secret? My character's whole aesthetic is like a fully armored knight, but I'm just wearing like leather, like studded leather, I think, like in the mechanics, right?
Yeah,
like you can flavor these things.
Yeah, exactly.
But here's the thing, though. And this is something that I'm gonna say something pretty bold here, I believe. Right? But
how dare you?
A lot of people like mock Mathfinder. Oh, Mathfinder. Like it's 700 pages book, you know, that's 8,000 pages. Like if you wanted to play in a system that doesn't have rules for half the things we were doing here, the system would get on the way more. Because each time you have to invent, oh, he wants to blind the bear, but there's no rules for that. Oh, what do I do?
Right.
I guess this time I'll let you do. And this is another issue. It leads the GM saying, I will let you do this. As in, you don't have agency. I do, but I will.
Yeah,
let
now you need
this.
permission.
Oh,
Now you need
or
permission.
whenever the new kobold chief I keep wanting to say Sazerac. That's a drink, but you never learned her name anyways. It doesn't matter. When Shire started grappling. God, I'm tripping over all my words at the end now.
No worries.
Starts grappling. I'm going, oh. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
scroll. I'm not gonna scroll back up to find out if she has precise shot or not. I'm going to assume she's going.
Like, how
no,
many
I'm not-
kobolds have fucking precise shot and gunslinger as their feet or whatever?
Right. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna take that shot because I think like, man, would she be so callous as to go? No, I think I can make that shot. And then there's that brief moment of, if I miss that and shoot an arrow straight into the back of these very tenuous allies, this is going to be a total shit show. It's like,
I like that. But I like that way of thinking about it's more interesting. Of like, am I okay with hitting those neo allies? Like, you're a kobold, you're kind of cold blooded. Like, it might work in your benefits as well. So you can role play this out in your thoughts that will determine the actions happening in the game, instead of thinking, oh, is this a mechanically good idea or bad idea?
Right.
Which is like on a much flatter level of decision making.
Yeah, and it's interesting to play. It's one of my favorite kinds of NPCs to play, which is I'm not in love with the alignment system, but playing an evil character, which is not super powerful and who is intelligent, because it means that she knows her position. She knows that it's a bad position. She knows that, well, yeah, this kobold chieftain is insane. He's going to get us all killed. I'm gonna ally with these people. That's why I hate when the alignment system,
you're good, I'm evil, we can't work together, you know?
Right. It drives people to go, oh, I don't allow chaotic evil or just any evil player characters because it's going to lead to too many messes. Well, here's a really clean and easy example of how good and evil characters can work together, at least in the short term, you know, if not in the long term. In the long term, it can become interesting where you have characters develop one way or the other, going against their alignment, going against their nature and their upbringing.
There's a couple of moments where I very much can feel that, okay, this is the moment where, as a game master, you would just say some information to the players directly, like, his kobold's name is so-and-so. But, like, we never asked for the name, so...
Right.
They never asked.
They never asked.
And it's like, they never asked ours either. So it's like,
yeah.
Because we really don't need to, like, communication can just flow.
No, I mean, it's the classic meme where it's like, men have best friends, and it's like, I've known this man for 3 months. I would trust him with my life. I have no idea what his name is.
It's also like Skyrim does that sometimes. You approach someone and you know their name before you talk to them. Like, oh, hold on a sec.
there's a cool mod that,
or sometimes it's like, oh no, man. Oh, okay, he's gonna be relevant soon enough.
Yeah. There's a cool mod that all it does is it puts up a question mark until you talk to the NPC and then you get their name.
For me, it's also, I mean, it makes it a bit more difficult to keep track of the NPCs.
Right.
But I also, like, we mentioned cinematic, and a few days ago, Crispy, Mr. Max, and Phil talked about what it means to have cinematic roleplay. And I think, well, do I want to have like 4 scenes where I ask, what is your name? My name is Tilash. my name is Philippe, my name is Shair. And have those like 4
Right.
times every session with
It
every
would be
new
lame.
NPC.
There'd be lame
think
scenes
that's-
for one, and for another, even from not a cinematic perspective, from a simulationist perspective, you're in a dark room with a language barrier and you've
Yes.
just met 15 total strangers. It's gonna be hard to keep track of them. Like it's not, it's not easy to even because I mean, you know, you have the even in person, you have whatever that number is that's like you can know roughly 500 people really well, and the rest of them you're going to start forgetting names or not know names in the first place. And
Yeah, it's like, oh, that's the tall guy, you know, that's all you know.
Yeah, where it's like, you know, as a bartender all the time, I'm like, that is what is
like for me, she is the milkmaid, and I gave her $2.
Yeah, that's
for
all you need to know.
trouble and to make sure that she's okay, you know.
Yeah,
that's all I need to know. It's like,
Oh, there
Yeah.
was one moment there that, as Shair, I tried to imply, like, just go there and say her name, because, like, it will be under our, we'll cover, kind of, like, with the food you need.
yeah.
So when you gave money, in my way, Shair was not looking at Telash, so he did not comment anything. He did not see that happen, but in my head, I was like, wait, we already covered, like, their expenses in the tavern.
exactly. Like, and I'm very happy that you did not comment on it, because it was covert. I did not roll for it, but it could be a moment where Tyler says, make a, I don't know, sleight of hand or stealth check, whatever this game has.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
It would have been a
Just
silly,
handing something to someone willingly.
And Nicholas
that's
could
one of
say,
the things-
oh, can I make a perception check? I think, like, I wasn't paying attention particularly, but now that you're trying to hide it, I want to see if my character catches it. It's like,
right, exactly.
Oh,
And
I
then-
hate that. Everyone dog piles in.
Yeah,
You know-
you get into this one-upping game of I don't even know how to describe
I'm
it.
happy if Nicholas says, like, rolls a die
Right.
and looks at the die and looks at Talash and be like, his eyebrow raises, you know? That's enough for me. Like, I don't even want to be like, oh wait, hold on, let me roll my stealth check first.
Right.
I must.
Okay, I have a question of a thing that I made that might have been a mistake, right? But I remember the last time I used flare, I think the last time I used flare, I think Tyler thought that it blinded an enemy. So this time, when he said that the kobolds were blinded, I said fortitude save or dazzled.
Yeah.
Like real quick, right? But
Yeah.
did I like
So-
step out down to say that? 'Cause
They
that wasn't really necessary.
They specifically were blinded because they have a low light sensitivity.
Yes, yeah, we had that set up from last session. That it's going to be a big problem because those kobolds cannot handle the sun. That was a whole ordeal.
Yeah, so no worries on that. That totally.
But do you think that it was right for me to say, you know, fortitude save or dazzled? Okay,
yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
I think you could describe I mean, there are spells in Pathfinder that will require more of an explanation than that as to
yes,
like what the actual mechanics are, right? Like at a low level, I think the spell system works pretty seamlessly with roleplay, you know, and that's part of it. Is a lot of the mechanics we're using, they don't get seen. That's sort of the beauty of the 3D40 roleplay. Is if you think we're not using the mechanics, that's kind of a compliment, because it means, hey, great, things are going well, right? It's kind of like saying, hey, does your movie even have a sound guy? I never saw a boom in the shot. Like, oh, thank God you didn't see the boom in the shot. Like, it's not supposed to be there.
This is such a refreshing Pathfinder game, because never before in my life have I seen a Pathfinder game where so many mechanics are used. Like the fight with the bear was so exciting. Like it was blinding. It was more like a puzzle, and then like the fight with the kobold was super interesting as well, because it was like knocked down. You know, it's interesting how, like you said, people claim that we don't use rules, but in 4D, since the characters are acting believably, it's not just a slap fight until someone hits 0 HP. You know, like we're actually fully using the system.
And then there's like the overarching mechanics of it, of like, you know, I didn't have to say, oh, you can ally with the kobolds, but if you do that, then you won't get as much money because they're going to be taking some of their stuff. But if you totally wipe them out, then you'd be able to take everything back, and then
that's a beginner's trap, right? Because the thought is, like, can you get some of the money or all of the money, or right, I've ultimate player agency. Let me loot everything, like Skyrim mentality.
That's another thing.
That's not the exciting thing about the role playing. I mean, you can. That would play great into like the rogue's power fantasy, maybe. Or the kleptomaniac.
But even then, like, how often... Again, like, think realistically. Like, you already got paid very handsomely by the Baroness. Like, do you really need to turn every rock in this damn cave for, like, maybe a single silver coin? Like,
yeah.
Right.
You already got, like, a robe that is magical. You already got, like, a staff. Like, I don't think that's very realistic to people to act
and
like that.
You get out of it alive, right? Like, you circumvented the traps. You don't know if there's more traps or more monsters. What if you walked into that saber-toothed toad, someplace else in the cave?
Think of
you have to carry things back home. Like, don't just go to your inventory.
Well, think of, and I always think of something that's, in living memory for many people. If you talk about to World War II veterans who were, or Vietnam veterans for that matter, who were in a lot of the cave systems, like the tunnel rats in Vietnam, ask them, after you got done with your mission, how ready were you to scrape through these Viet Cong made AKs and 1911s? Because those are worth a lot of money once you brought them back to the States. Oh, they're all going, the fuck are you talking about? But I took war trophies, absolutely, but it was the one thing I could pick up off the guy and then get out of there. So it's not.
Like that stands out. You describe the kobold's belongings. Like, okay, scroll, a small bag. I pick that. I take the cloak. I don't care what it does. It's purple.
Right.
Stone knife, don't give a shit. Literally tossing that. I don't even have to mention it in a line. Because it's not important. It's not enhancing the scene. Except for like maybe account keeping. That Tyler knows that I don't have that on me.
Right. And two, like I think
that the loot conundrum is interesting if you're role playing it. Like if you're playing a character that really needs money to send back to their like sickly mother or whatever, right? And it could be interesting. Oh, am I willing to backstab the kobolds? But most of the time, these people that are playing, they're just like loot and XP goblins. That's what they are.
Yeah.
You know what?
Because they don't care about the world. They don't care about like the imagined world. They
just want like maximum money, maximum experience points, maximum magical items.
And it's silly to me because as the GM, you could always just take that away or give more of it, right? You're totally at the behest of the capriciousness of the GM as to whether or not it's not real, man.
I also hate that. Like the first is the illusion of, I can just steal everything I want, and then the GM being like, well, the only way I can fight this is take it away from you.
All right.
And now you're like, well, you're taking my agency away. It's like, but you're not role-playing, though. Like, if you role-play those modes, that would be awesome. But you're just complaining to the game master that he took your fucking wizard's spellbook away.
Something I've seen multiple posts on from OSR guys is that it's like, what you do, because the GM is inevitably going to have somebody sneak up on you and steal your stuff because when you're making too much money, is you have a decoy wallet with only copper in it that weighs as much as your real wallet. And it's like, okay, if this is a big enough issue that like that it's going to happen, it's a foregone conclusion.
But they're not metagaming, Tyler. You don't understand. That's not metagaming. That's just being prepared.
And if it's not metagaming, what kind of world does that say that this is? That there's there's so many.
I just want this to be. That's the average advice being given out by the Pathfinder Society. 10 tricks you need to know to survive as a Pathfinder.
Right. It's like
number 4 will surprise you.
I don't want to be a Pathfinder no more.
I know. Where it's like you're getting travel advice when you're going to Paris where it's like, wear your
Yeah.
backpack on the front and make sure that you only go in broadly lit areas, and you're like, geez, Taldor must be a shithole. I don't.
If you accept the quest, make sure to do double dealings by the guys you're supposed to kill, so you can also get money from them. Like double dip everything you do.
Yeah.
Is this what you want the hobby to be? Because some people have played the game like this for 3 decades, right? Longer than I've been alive.
Right.
Is that it? Like, is that all that there is to it? Just like delving into dungeons, bringing back as much coin as you can.
Delving into dungeons and trying to outsmart the GM, which you can do because there are 3 of you and only 1 of me.
Okay.
I would love to. Let's talk about the dungeons, right? We had Wizards of State. We had the Cavern. Did we have any other dungeons that we played?
Dungeon per word, I don't think. No.
We had to fight outside the estate.
The tunnels under the tower as well.
The tunnels under the tower, right. And those dungeons are not nameless locations for loot and killing monsters. They had a history, they had a story, like, that makes them relevant to what we want to do, which makes them cool. And that's like the biggest mistakes is Dungeons and Dragons. Oh, let's just go there, make money, and come back out. No. They have a reason to exist, and we have a reason to go there, which is what makes them interesting and dangerous.
It's way more memorable to me that one time that we got a kobold tribe to, like, half the kobold tribe help us dethrone their leader. Then like the 100th dungeon where just kick each door down and stab whatever is moving until it dies. Because I played through a few of those and they're boring. There's nothing to do. And the worst thing is people try to make these dungeons interesting. What they do is they make tunic slop. They're like, oh, you can. I'm so glad that Helen didn't do this. Like, oh, you can if you want. Side with the kobolds, but you get less loot. Like everything needs to be explained like the players are children.
It's the worst thing about the commonly cited, the best role play that's out there. Matt Mercer does this all the time. He just goes you can certainly try that. You can just let it happen, right? You can cut out this middleman nothing burger statement if you tell your players, well, just stop asking me questions, man. And like I say, an occasional rules clarification here and there is no problem. But when it's, I don't know.
Can I do this? Like, go ahead and try.
I think I've done that every single session, by the way. I was like, oh, is that dexterity? Or I've done that every single session.
Yeah. Then it's been like 1 in every session or something like that. Maybe 2. And it's not what's memorable, right? When somebody says, we want to be in character 100% of the time. Well, when you're in character 95% of the time, it might as well be 100% because you don't remember that 5%, when it starts to creep into 25, 30, 40, 50% in most games or more, then that's when it becomes, what do you remember about that session? Well, I remember I rolled a 20 and I did like 30 damage at level 1. It was a lot.
Wow.
And then,
I remember that was like part of the comment section Looking for Mom's video with the boys Crispy and the others, Bacon and Dean. Like one of the comments did mention like, I don't think it's possible to be like 100% in character.
Right.
And then
allow me to introduce myself.
Yeah, there's like a big paragraph underneath it, and I'm thinking like we're not talking about being 100% in character the whole game. We are talking about being 100% immersed, and to be fully immersed means that you cut out the chaff, so to say. You cut out everything that is not needed to be immersed. We don't need to discuss rules to be immersed. We don't need to like double check if the role is correct or not. The roles are there to help you be immersed, not the other way around.
Yep.
Everything works in service to that, and this is when you need to know how to use the rules, right? Because a lot of rules will help, like the rules for blinding, like, Tyler knows, what the kobolds are going through. But then sometimes a rule might elude you, and then it can't hamper you, right? You can just make a quick ruling on the spot, and then
right. If you don't know about it, then it's the same as not having it in the first place. So why not just have it, right?
Exactly. And what's even better, if you have a ton of rules, you can read the spirit of the rules. Like, oh,
Yes,
if you're
exactly.
shaken, that's a -2. If you're sickened, that's a -2.
Right.
So in this case, they're not shaken or sickened.
Well,
Let's
like
say that they have like
you know,
slime on their arms. Oh, I'll give it a -2 because now you know the spirit of the rules, right?
well,
So the
like
more examples you have, the better.
even in this case, it's like we have fear that proceeds from shaken. If you intimidate someone that's already shaken, they become afraid. If you intimidate someone that's already afraid, they flee. They attempt to just get out of there. Whereas with this dazzled situation, it's like, oh, there's a flare of light and they become dazzled. I'm like, well, light sensitivity, what if you're already dazzled? Well, you can't, there's nothing beyond that. And I was like, it would be a little unfair to make them totally blind. So I was just like, they're just going to automatically fail to save them. Like I was like, that there is where it's like, oh, that there is a little gap. There is a little edge case here. Huh, neat. I can't believe they didn't think of that.
That's really cool.
Not the end of the world, right?
And some rules that exist, they like actively hinder staying in character, like being immersed in what is happening.
Yeah, like initiative. And again, that one's,
It's like take back mechanics. Like you do the roll, but if like this condition happens, then you ignore what happened before and roll again.
Right.
Like depending on how big the span is between rolling and rolling again, the more jarring it is. Like I can handle inspiration because I roll, I look at number, and I decide yes or no. Do I roll again or do I not? So, but I don't spend time like deliberating. Well, I rolled a 15, but I don't know if a 15 is good enough. So, do I take inspiration on it? Like, no.
Pathfinder, I think, when it has mechanics like that, and rerolls in Pathfinder are quite rare in first edition, anyways. They're a little more common in second edition. When it does them, it does two things quite well. So, like, probably the easiest way to get a reroll is the Oracle Mystery of Time, where you are literally manipulating time by like a few seconds, where you see the results of your action and can rewind those few seconds and go, oh, no, let me redo that. Let me do that slightly. Let me slightly change the angle of my blade. And there you go. It's actually it's a diegetic thing that's happening in the world. The other thing it does very well is it very clearly enunciates, do you get to make the reroll before or after you see the results of the initial roll? And usually you just have to decide whether or not you're going to reroll here, right? You don't get to see that your sword misses and then rewind time unless that's literally what you're doing, right?
See, that's really cool. That's how you do rerolls.
And I think it is best to keep them rare.
Indeed.
It is something I really don't like about 5e because one, the math kind of doesn't math, and two, it just slows things down a lot when you're doing the rerolls all the time because you have advantage, inspiration, this, that, and the other.
It's distracting to have inspiration because now, like, I'm not just playing my character. I also need to I need to think out of character. Like, oh, when do I use inspiration? Right.
Right.
That's silly. I want to be the whole time.
And when the game tells you, like give inspiration out for good role play, it's like I am giving a bonus out for a thing they should be doing anyways. Like
the assumption is that you never role play.
Exactly. You're right. It creates this this sort of reverse incentive, right? Because wait a minute,
because then that means that the other guy role played I didn't, just because I role play different, which is not role playing at all.
Yeah, and if you're always role playing, what? You always have inspiration? Well, now the game doesn't really work. And so,
now the game is shit. If you're always role playing, the game is shit.
Does that mean that in order to be a power gamer in D&D, you have to be a role player?
Yeah, exactly.
There's also the problem of
easy mode.
In the early days, I always gave out inspiration once a session, at least,
right?
As a baseline, and I gave it to the best role player, which was one guy. Because somebody is just better. Like,
right?
Yeah, somebody is just like, he has the better lines, or he thinks more in character, or he thinks more deeply.
Systematically making like the group hate one guy so they don't overthrow you, you know.
Yeah, and I'm like, well, what am I gonna do? Like, he's role playing. That's the thing that I like, and the other guys, like, a couple of them are trying, but they just don't catch on. It's like, okay, I guess I'm not even trying because fucking Tyler over here is stealing the show every game. Like, no, you're supposed to be motivated to try.
Right,
you know,
exactly.
I don't know. Is it like, oh yeah, let's join the race, but your body's just a better runner than you? It's like, I don't even have to try. You know, I just like follow along to bands, make fun of him all the time.
Yeah.
Because oh, I'm not gonna win. So I didn't even care, lol. You know.
Right. And that is an
man.
interesting thing that people kind of fall to, right? As humans, where it's especially something I see in martial arts where there are some people you have to tiptoe around, where you're sparring a brand new guy that doesn't know anything. Well, you start pulling your punches because 1, you don't want to injure the guy, and 2, you don't want to injure his ego. But if you pull them too much, then he knows you're going easy on him. And then they go,
oh,
well, come on, actually, and occasionally a new guy.
And then their egos are bruised anyways.
Yeah, then their egos get really bruised because they're like, oh, no, come on, I can take it. Let's, really try. And then, after trying their hardest, you've barely broken a sweat. You're breathing a little heavy. They're absolutely exhausted and just nothing they were trying worked. And they're like, oh, shit. And now it becomes like, well, look at this guy. He's trying too hard. Like you don't want to try because if you don't try, then your ego can't be bruised. Then it's like,
if you don't try, you can't lose, right? You can't lose if you don't try.
Well, I wasn't trying. Of course, I lost. I wasn't trying that hard, And then so yeah.
And also, you were trying too hard. Look at you. I'm blocking every attack.
Yeah. Like, exactly. Yeah. You're a sweat. You're a sweat lord. Like, look at this guy trying to be good at the thing he does.
Look these guys trying to stay in character 100% of the time, even though it's not even possible.
I know. Yeah, it's not possible. And if it is, and you have video evidence of it, well, I'm not going to watch it.
Also, it doesn't even sound fun, so I don't have to investigate this.
It veers into the. I've talked about this many times. I don't know if during one of our games here in the compassion, but the allergy people have to sincerity.
Yes.
In today's world, in general, I think it's a curse that's just ruining people's lives. It's affecting everything else.
It's a coping mechanism. It was
the fear of cringe, so to speak.
Yeah, it was very on the nose. But it is a family movie. Zootopia 2. That's one of the big messages in that movie is using jokes as a coping mechanism, as a way.
Really? They talk about that?
Yes, it is. There's one of the jokes that stands out to me where the police chief is going, Fox, why can't you take anything seriously? He goes, well, I use jokes as a coping mechanism for a traumatic childhood. He goes, do you want a traumatic adulthood?
Wow.
Because that's how you get a traumatic adulthood.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah. And you can really see the culture shift because we're going away from self-deprecating humor, that's no longer considered vogue.
It's like it's getting cool to be honest again, kind of deal.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, he has so much personal strength. Being able to talk about his problems. Oh, he's so powerful.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, guys, I'm the biggest victim. I have all of these problems. Look at me improve. It's like, hey, it's awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, okay, no, I'm not going to go on a whole rant about. Now it becomes who has the most problems as status symbol.
Right, the big Olympics.
Like, I lost 100 kilos. No. I lost 120 kilos. I'm so I'm so awesome.
Body weight. And then it just goes. Like, you just keep moving the goalpost, right? But I get what you're saying. No, it is a consequence, especially of the last almost 6 years now of people looking at self-improvement, and most like self-improvement books and podcasts are total slop. They're just things looking to get a quick buck out of you. but it is showing that at least people are thinking about,
and people
things,
want it. They clearly want it.
Yeah, people want to strive towards fixing things. It is you have to take that white pill in not just in role playing, but in life in general. That there are things to be improved, and we can acknowledge our failings, but it's not just make a joke about our failings. Oh, haha, yeah. XP to level 3 is probably the worst about this. Oh, haha, the rules take 30 minutes to look up, and none of my players show up on time, and half of them are on their phones all the time, and what? Wait a minute, finish the thought. And so you're going to hold them to a higher standard, right? And you're going to bring this up to them in session 0, right?
You're gonna talk about it, see what can be done about it.
It's like,
you're
no,
gonna use kindergarten tactics to hurt them. That's what you do. You just
like if we had that attitude, right? Our campaign would have died with session 4.
Yeah.
Because 2 months of no games would kill any other group. But we went into chat every week.
But we are
Is it possible to play? Like, what's it looking like, Tyler? What's it looking like, Conway? Like, are you becoming a doctor? Do you have to save Gotham today, or not?
It's been the same thing with my home game. My home game I haven't played in some months, and the next session is probably going to be the last session of like a 6 or 7 year long campaign. So,
Ooh, awesome.
that has been like as soon as my work stops imploding, then I'd love to do that. But it's I have one other of my players is on she's a dispatcher for the police. So she has been playing in early morning Saturdays and then going to work from like 4 p.m. to 6 a.m. or some insane shit, like even more insane hours than I work. And she's like, well, my shift changes in like 4 or 5 months. So I'm like, I'm hoping we can get to playing before then. But
the thing is that like our group is a high trust group. So when we say, I can't do this week, we actually mean we can't do this week. It's not, I'm bored. I don't want to do this session. That girl invited me to that, I'll go, and then you just say, I can't do this week, guys. So we actually mean that we can't do it, right? So like when we actually can, we'll get
it's like actually meeting a girlfriend, having a potential relationship is a big important step. So I'm gonna step out for this Wednesday, and I won't even be mad because I know the difference between I'm gonna go to a party and wait, this might be actually I might score here.
Right. Like most of us have multiple hobbies other than this one. This isn't our sole hobby. So even then I would understand if it was like, for myself, if it was like, oh, hey, I've got there's a fighting game tournament coming up and it happens to fall on a Wednesday. Then be like, okay, man, I'm not owed your time, right? And that goes both ways, right?
If you can't talk about it, what happens is like you find more and more reasons that get in the way, and then you don't get any sessions organized until the spirit leaves. You give up on it. That's what happens the other way around.
And that's why I hate my players say they enjoy my game. Yeah, okay, but do they explain what exactly they enjoyed about the game, or do they go, oh, that was fun, and then leave, and then
have they ever told you what they didn't enjoy about the game?
Right, exactly. Have you ever
I'm the first guy that will come here and tell you what I like, what I don't like, maybe a little too much even, but that's like how you improve, right? Like constructive criticism, right? This thing was good, can you do more of it? This thing was bad, can you do like less of it, right?
I don't think it's too much. I mean, I think we spent an hour talking about it now. Okay, that's too much for viewers. But for me, I enjoyed very much. So as long as you guys have thoughts that need to get out there.
Right. What's interesting is I find the viewership tends to almost double once we start getting into the after action, which is weird. Right now we've lost everybody. But
yeah.
But yeah, people seem to like the theory bits and
They like to hear us making fun of other people. Let's just get out of the way.
Well,
That's what you come here for.
That's part of it, and they get the like shorthand of it, and I get it too. Even of good actual plays, I'm like, man, I want to play. I don't want to sit here and listen to these other guys yak, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Because the time flows a lot faster when you're actually there and playing it, and when you're watching people do it, there are these pauses where someone deliberates on what their next action is, on how they're going to word. They do have a question. How am I going to word that in character to not break the flow?
I very much had those. Sorry, go ahead, Nicholas.
I just meant it's not much of an spectator sport.
Not
and like it can totally be, but raw, even in 4D, is still like.
It's a lot like wrestling for me, where even if you know the rules of wrestling, it's kind of like it's hard to see what's going on a lot of the times. It's like I can't tell heads or tails of what's going on here. Are his shoulders down? Aren't they down? The ref is.
Are you talking about like UFC wrestling? The difference between the punchers and the grapplers?
Well, yeah, either or, any of them, because it's just it's not great for the spectators, even if you do know what's going on, because
that's how you get WWE, right? Or like they're actually like showboating everything, because that's how you see wrestling.
Yeah, right. And you'll get like the early UFC days where two good even now, two good grapplers go against each other, and it's, well, if I let go of this, I give him room to do a thing. I can't do anything from this position other than just hold him here. And so even if you as an observer know, right, well, I know the tactical options that are going on here, that doesn't make it interesting. It's still just like kind of slow. I would rather be there, be participating in it, because I'm like,
it's super technical, super interesting, and super boring.
There's a moment it's like it's an anime, and you hear the guy's thoughts out loud, spousing out paragraphs of technical knowledge of what he feels right now.
And that is, and that's.
I watched a video that's like Death Note, but you can't hear their thoughts. And
oh my god,
it's so funny! They're just staring at each other.
Can we just have the wrestling scene, the UFC wrestling scene happening, but we overlaid Death Note dialogues, the inner dialogues as they're doing it? Like just freeze frame.
It's so awkward. They're just staring at one another for like 3 minutes.
He knows that I'm gonna order pizza, so I'll throw him a curveball and order Subway instead.
Well, like, I don't want to really like go too far off topic, but the thing is like. That's weird in anime, because you have to remember it is originally manga, and in manga, time does not flow the same way that it does.
Right.
Yeah.
When you think a paragraph in your brain, it's like that. You have like a whole string of thought, and that translates well into a book. But when you watch something, it is weird because you cannot do a long string of thought the same way your brain does in real life. So it becomes slow.
Yeah, time moves in a linear fashion in an anime. But in a manga, you can pause or flip through as fast as you want. And you can set your own pacing, so to say. Which means like the mangaka cannot dictate the pacing. You cannot like change how fast you flip through the pages.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's something I hadn't really thought of.
Well, I don't know if it like actually helps anyone out there, but I know it's a fact. So.
Well, it's what's so interesting about our genre, right? Is because these other mediums are one-way mediums, right? The artist, the author puts the thing out there, and now it's out there. Now you live with it, right? But I hadn't considered that. Yeah, technically, with a book, you do read at your own pace. You can put it down. I guess with a movie, you could pause it in the middle of the movie and pick it up later. That's a little unhinged, though. But here, the pacing is really driven by the players, and that's where I find a lot of GMs get burnt out. Where, man, in this session, I was excited to somebody prompted me for a lore dump. I get to play for a while now. I get this random footman gets to give you.
I want to know about Old Taldor. Like, what's the fucking big deal about it?
Yeah, and then
what's the big deal?
And then Philippe pipes up like, all right, this is dragging on. Like, let's. It's like, oh yeah,
Or that was in character, by the way.
yeah. It's like, oh, I'm
camera.
rambling on here. Yeah, I'll let you, as people are wont to do. And then what? Big stretches.
I found this a bit difficult actually, because Philippe is like technically a local, right? He's from like the country past the border.
Yeah,
he's technically a local.
It's like the next region over, more or less, like over the hill.
I felt like for the world to make sense, my character had to comment on it.
Yeah.
Most of it was what I knew about Galt lore, though, not the location we were in. But I think it was interesting because it shows that the world is even bigger than even like all of what we were talking about, right? Because there's also Galt just past the border. And it was interesting they mentioned like night orders, because that's what my character was studying to be in Galt before the revolution, right?
Yeah.
And it's even interesting to see if like if Shair or Talash like realize, oh, there's like some tension here, right? Like they're talking about Galt as if it's like a dangerous, lawless place and things like that. It was super interesting. That is when the lore can help you, right? And you even saw my character theorize that the bandits that came to rob him could have been like assassins from like the revolution.
I thought that was cool. I was thinking about that. That was a very cool way to tie things together.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I thought
because Talash, no, what's dangerous about Galt isn't Galt. Like, no, like they crossed the border with me to kill me. Like, you saved me right at the start of the game, like before the game started.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, okay, like up north is a country full of criminals that know no law. It's like, well, Talash can do literally nothing with those guys then. Like, okay, if you don't respect your elders, you don't respect hierarchy, like, how are you gonna survive as a clan, as a family?
Oh God, don't tell them about
you
the River King.
And my character agreed with you when it's totally not true. It's like the French Revolution, But my character's a noble, so he would see them as just thieves. Like, there's no legitimacy behind it.
And some of the I like the ways that the old Paizo writers thought about like the different systems of governance, where things that the ages of gods and kings are still around, but places are experimenting with these other systems of governance of like,
what if we tried democracy and everybody laughed in the room? It's like,
well, so it's like Andorran, one of the countries he mentioned, is a true democracy, and nothing ever gets done there because because it's like, all right, 50,000 people showed up to vote on every single thing we're about to do today, and all right, we'll meet again in 10 years. We passed a single law.
It's like having a talk show with 10,000 people about how to roleplay. Everyone has an opinion, but nobody is like really educated on it or has like really tried and moved the needle forward. And if you try to move the needle forward, you get so much pushback that, fine, I need to convince the other 9,999 people that what I say makes sense.
Right.
And you need to educate masses for the system to really fucking work. And that's hard, because how do you educate people if they don't want to listen? So,
what does Zolar mean by this?
Viva la revolution!
Service guarantees citizenship is all.
There you go. There you go.
No, I'm just saying, like,
if you want to vote in 4D circles, be vetted.
Yep.
It's one of the weird things that I've noticed, and there's some arrogance slipping out of here, but as a Swiss person, having grown up like in the countryside of Switzerland, education is still so good, that I can see arguments more clearly of like, oh, that makes sense, and that makes no sense, because I had the luxury to go to school to like get educated on those things that will help me form an opinion, instead of having to like blindly follow some politicians. That direct democracy we have, allowing Swiss people to put in laws if enough people vote, directly superseding whatever politicians get voted in, and like make them like force the matter if enough people hate what's going on. And it never really gets used, like it hasn't been used for a long time, but it's possible, which like, oh, that gives you the skin in the game to give a shit what's going on in your country.
Right.
So if people think, oh, my opinion matters, and they have skin in the game, they're more likely to actually think about it and talk about it instead of being like, just whoever looks the cutest, I'll vote for him.
Right. And part of it comes from less a place of arrogance and more a place of having to deal with swaths of people that will tell you, yeah, we do that thing. Oh, in fact, I've been doing it since the 80s. And you go, that's awesome if that's true. Can I see it? And then the excuses start.
Can you show me your method? You know,
right. My method is too deadly. We can't spar. I'm like, okay, well then forgive me if I don't exactly believe.
One finger death punch guy.
Exactly. It's like, oh no.
It's handle 2% of my power.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's like, okay, well, if that's the case, then I'm probably just not going to go to your gym, right? I'm probably and. On the internet, it becomes this is such an open forum. It becomes more of if I wouldn't go to your gym, if you're not letting me effectively sit down at your table and see how you play to confirm that you do get it, why would I let you sit down at my table and, start taking up space here, start taking up my time effectively, right?
Is that like the part of to get in the dojo? You need to get beat up by every member inside the dojo and do like the cleaning and the laundry, and all the bullshit.
Not exactly that, but if you have like, for example, we have the free trial class, right? And when you go to Combat Con or any of these other martial arts conventions, and you'll have guys that are, no, I only do this style of martial art. I only do this thing. That's cool until the follow-up happens. Oh, but I believe it would totally work against your style. I will never put that hypothesis to the test, despite the fact that you have free classes, despite the fact that I can see you guys sparring. I can see it's not dangerous. Nobody's getting injured. I can see there's a waiver, and this is in a hobby that is ostensibly dangerous, where you can really get injured from it. So when it happens with role-playing games, where it's, this is my style, but it's pretty close to 4D, 3D. I think we can do the same thing, but you can't see my games. I'm not going to join any of your games. Even though I can see them all, then it becomes like, okay, why should I be listening to you, man? Like, this is so weird, right? Like, what are we doing here? It makes me question what you're
in the game.
Yeah, right. It makes me question what your motivations are, right? Like, okay, if you do have a million excuses for not actually getting in a game, if you do have a million excuses for, why would you be in a martial arts forum but not actually be taking martial arts classes, right?
And some people, they might want to, and this is like the thing you mentioned, the free trial, like try it out. Like we have this one day a year that it's free, or I don't know, a semester. Come in. And we have to say with training sessions. Come in. Coming in is free. Asking for a training session is free. Yep. You just have to try and talk out a date. Literally just, let's get a date on the board and we can see what we can do. Do a training session, put it on YouTube, or keep it private, keep it unlisted. Just as a way for you to reflect on how the training session went, what you can take from it, and what you can improve. If you want to join the community or not. Of course, it's for us also to see, like, is this guy even trying, Right. Let's see a video. Let's see some evidence. And so we can actually help you and get feedback.
Okay, I might actually disagree with this, because I do think that there is value in theorists. Like, a good chunk of science is not done through experimentation, but just by, putting guesses out there, right? The thing is, you can't disagree on what is praxis, what has been actually determined to be physically possible, such as, the whole like being basically 100% in character. I mean, we have tons of evidence, right? It's like someone showing up to the physics academy, like, no, I don't think gravity exists, right? You can't say that. That is not even a theory.
Earth is flat.
Right.
What's the term? What's the term again for something that like isn't a theory, but it's like almost like solidly observable? Is it like praxis? I don't recall. But yeah, well, it isn't like a theory. Gravity isn't a theory at this point. We can all readily observe it, right?
Yeah, it's a natural law.
Exactly. And if we have all this proof of what we can achieve with the 4D thing, then you need to agree with what the proof provided entails. But that doesn't mean that theorists aren't valuable. It means that a theorist should go out to the boundaries of the field that is being explored, right? And make theories on that, not make theories on the fundamentals of the field that are already well understood, in my opinion.
And we talked about it enough times, but that's why it's Pathfinder that we're playing. The theory is, well, how hard is it to roleplay in a rules-heavy game where there's a lot of crunch? That's more crunch than D&D, and more complex and a lot more resources out there. So we picked Pathfinder for that reason. Not a new game, but an old game.
Also because Tyler really wanted to play Pathfinder.
Yeah, also really wanted to.
It's a game I enjoy, and while I don't dislike playing in a lot of the other games like Traveler and whatnot, what is it? It's kind of like it feels like diet role playing, right? Where it's like I get all the flavor of the role play, but there's something just off, right? Where I'm thinking, is there a rule for that? I don't remember reading a rule for that. Am I about to do a thing that puts the GM on the spot because I'm going to try to wrestle this guy to the ground, and there aren't any rules for that. So I'm like, okay, well then maybe I don't want to wrestle. And then I end up doing what I did in Rick's Traveler game a year ago and putting a hat on outside my spacesuit because I'm losing the scene thinking about the rules, right? And maybe it's the opposite for some people, but I think that's a year mileage may vary thing. But at least for me, I'm like, just give me the, I'm not drinking soda all the time. Just give me the full sugar. I don't get to role play all the time. Just give me the full rules.
Yeah, that might just be a preference thing at that point. And yeah, I don't know. Needs to be more said about this.
Right.
But you don't want to drink like pure marmalade, something like if I can.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it's like I wouldn't just take a spoonful of sugar and just start, eating it straight out of the jar. It's like,
that's what Garp says, man. Like, wow.
15. He takes 8 fire damage. The creature takes 8 fire damage. 17. Does that hit? It's like, what are we doing, man? Like there's a reason. There's a reason if you play Dwarf Fortress, the first thing you do is install a texture pack, because seeing a capital A moving around on the screen with a bunch of asterisks and ats is like,
that is hieroglyphics. You just
you're scratching your head like,
you spend the first
track of.
the first 50 hours is deciphering what the numbers mean until you can see blondes, brunettes, and redheads.
Right.
Exactly. Well, it was a great talk, a great session. Had a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Always great having you, Conway.
See if I want to get something to eat.
Yeah.
All right. See ya.
Have a good one, everyone.
You too.
Bye, guys.
All right. Well, Zola, you have any other closing thoughts for us, or?
Yeah, I do. I'm gonna run a show tomorrow. And I'm going to have Bacon on to talk about stuff. Awesome. We will talk about roleplay, but I haven't decided on what exactly. If you have any ideas that would be like specifically tailored to like, Bacon would be great to talk about that. Things that I noticed is sometimes Bacon getting distracted by chats and then losing the train of thought about the topic. I wanna like dig a bit into the bleed. Why? What his dislike about bleed is, or the terminology,
That would be good.
and how people use it. Like, what is it useful for? And if it's not useful, then what should we replace it? So I'm gonna rewatch his bleed video, so I'm a bit well versed, and I want to talk about what did he call it again? The being engrossed, immersed, and there was one more word.
Yeah,
about it.
differentiating those terms. Yeah.
That he got like from those well-cited papers in psychology papers. I don't.
Yeah. Which is great. I think if you guys don't know Better with Bacon, he is doing a lot of really important groundwork that has gone basically undone for the last 40 years, which is to say, role-playing games. We took this term role-playing from the field of psychology and sociology, and then we just threw that away. We just we stopped considering it at all. And I think that's largely because the kinds of unwashed nerds that play Dungeons and Dragons, that play most role-playing games, are not very self-aware about psychology and sociology. Just for the most part, and a lot of others just aren't really interested in it, which is totally fine. But yeah, that's kind of the long and short of it. He's got a really great channel on not just these theory aspects, but actually role-playing out there, and role-playing in a multitude of styles. I think it would be nice to nice may not be the word, but it would be cool to get a contrast of the same players, of us in a 2D game every so often. I think I want to film some of my home games where we're struggling to get out of the 2D habits, playing Pathfinder. And
on my end, I have those content on my channel already. They're 4 years old or something. D&D 5e, Descent into Avernus. Like over 30 episodes on YouTube, I think. Something like that. You can watch those and you will see night and day differences of approach between that session and like either this Pathfinder game or the other one I ran, the Lich's Dregs.
Yeah. That was a cool one. Yeah, I didn't watch all of that, but I watched parts of it, and that was cool. If you guys are catching this on the replay, thanks for watching to this point, or skipping all the way to the end, whatever the case may be. Comment any thoughts that you may have had down below. I do get to all the comments. I try to respond to all of them, unless they're just absolutely asinine. And I don't get too many of those. I really appreciate this smaller collection, because there's almost 300 of you now. It's not that small, but the smaller channel, because I do get to respond to all the comments. I do get to read through all of them, and they're almost always constructive and good. So really appreciate that. Next video, like I said, I don't know when it'll come out. I might make one tonight. I might make one tomorrow. That video is going to be on these retroactive mechanics that we kind of touched on. That it seems to be the thing of the day. The thing of somebody mentioned, do we really need this many new systems? And I'm like, well, I think we need new mechanics. I think we need different mechanics. If your system is just going to be another variant of, I take that back, I'm not going to do that, and this mechanic lets me do that. No, I don't think that's compelling. I think that's an anti-role play mechanic. So yeah, that'll be what I'm doing. Go check out Zonalar's channel. Go check out Nicholas's channel, the Terra RPG. Links to those below, and see you next time. Thanks for watching.
See ya.